You're listening to Royal Ramble Radio, live Thursday nights between 7 and 9 p.m. on RoyalRambleRadio.com. And we are back. We're good on everything, I assume. Yeah.
I presume so.
I presume so as well. All right, so who in this room watched AEW? Show of hands now.
I watched AEW.
All right, did you watch it live? Show of hands now.
Yes.
No, I didn't watch it live.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch it live.
Yeah, I know, because you know what happened?
What happened?
What happened? I called you for our production meeting.
Right.
And guess what happened? Guess what happened, Ramblers?
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
Tristan was sleeping.
I mean, so you know,
Oh.
I'm a tired guy. Sometimes I gotta sleep.
Yeah, okay. No sleeping now, please. For the love of God.
I'm fully awake right now.
You sure?
I'm just analyzing the stream and optimizing the stream, so I'm wide awake.
All right, that's
Stress level on 20.
Stress level is over 20 right now. It's over 9,000 right now. So AEW had last week's episode. There were some flaws we all saw.
Oh. Yeah.
Production flaws, wrestling, some botches in there, but it looked like this episode they kind of made up for it.
They most definitely did, I would say.
If you want to call and talk, 609-910-0687. Let us know what you thought about AEW. Dynamite, Wednesday Night Dynamite. So it led off with Jericho. It led off with the Private Party versus the Young Bucks in the first round of the tag team tournament.
Did you do that pun on purpose where you said Dynamite lit off? You know, did you do that on purpose?
No, I didn't actually.
I was gonna say that should be how they say that.
Uh,
Anyway, yeah. So Private Party versus the
Private
Young Bucks.
Party. So Young Bucks West Coast. Private Party is East Coast, right out of House of Glory Wrestling School, which is right down here in Brooklyn, New York. Who just got bought
by Amazing Red.
Not anymore. Master P has it now.
No, good for him.
Yeah, Master P bought it.
Yeah, like just recently. Though.
Yeah, but I heard it was in the works. But I believe Red left House of Glory.
I have no clue.
I think he did. I don't know. But that's
where'd you hear this?
I don't know. I'm not going to go on it, but
Does it make you feel old?
He made it up.
I guess I made it up.
He made it up.
Anyway.
I read the same thing. I read the same thing about Master P. So.
Yeah, the Master P is fact. So
yeah,
Master P
I'm
does
saying,
now
I read the same thing.
Yeah, Master. Yeah.
No. The part about Amazing Red no longer being involved.
Yeah.
So who's training the students? Master P?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I hope not
was
either.
In WCW, let's not
with
forget.
the No Limit Soldiers.
That's
yeah, let's forget about that gimmick, please. No.
He has in-ring experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as WWE SmackDown taught me, celebrities are important.
And Zeus has experience as well too. I mean, I'm sorry, Tiny Lister. He has experience too.
And I have
SummerSlam match was phenomenal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. What were you smoking at that time?
He was probably sniffing.
Cain Velasquez is now a SmackDown.
I should just mute your mic right now. We're not.
You
even
know I don't mean
about
any of this, right? I mean,
let's not even talk about Kane, please.
Why not?
And we will eventually. I'm sure.
We will eventually, but it's just
let's hold off.
Let's talk about AEW first. So Jericho, the Private Party Young Bucks match, probably first way to start off with a hot match at the beginning of the show. You have the Young Bucks who take risks with everything. They're probably the number one tag team in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Private Party who are up and coming, just started, brand spanking new. Well, not brand spanking new, but they're new to like the television scene, and it turns into like Tristan. It wasn't really a spot fest.
What wasn't a spot fest?
That match
between the Young Bucks and the Private Party.
Yeah,
not spot fest.
Not in comparison to what the Young Bucks normally do.
Yeah,
that was still a spot fest.
But it still qualifies.
It's still a spot fest.
Okay, so it was a
and
spot.
I'm in agreement with you. And I want to say I do like Private Party, but I absolutely hate that theme song. It's gotta go.
Okay,
it is so annoying.
But yeah, it's more so it was somewhat of a spot fest, but you didn't think that the Private Party was going to go over the way it was going.
No, I didn't think they were going over. I was surprised by that.
I didn't think that they were going over either, but I thought that if they did go over, that it would be good because the worst thing the boss could ever do is put the belt on himself.
Yes, exactly.
Because that's easy.
Yeah, that's very easy.
And I'm not complaining that they went over though, but I do hear you with the spot fest thing. But my issue with it is, are Young Bucks in a position now where that's what their fans expect and they almost have to wrestle like that now? Like, are you stuck with it that you kind of have to do it? Or can you change?
Let me say this: there's a lot of things
Curious.
there's a lot of things that go on in AEW that I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of that spot fest style wrestling. I like the storytelling style wrestling. You know, those guys from Private Party jumped out the ring like 10,000 times.
Yeah.
You know, I think that their finish is really cool.
Yeah.
You know, I think they bastardized their finish by allowing the Young Bucks to kick out of their finish.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know, it's I don't like that. You know, that crash and burn style wrestling.
Okay.
Where we're doing 10,000 things. However, they don't make that wrestling show for me. They make it for everybody, and everybody in attendance is enjoying it.
And that's what I'm saying.
So
like, are they stuck? Do they have to do it?
I guess at this point they have to.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean. It's like it's just one of those things.
But it's pretty much almost like a buffet because you know when you go to a buffet you don't like everything.
Yeah.
You know you take what you like and what you don't like you leave it because they do still have that storytelling style wrestling in AEW. So I just have to patiently wait until it comes along. You know, am I taking away from the acrobatics from you know the Young Bucks or Private Party? No, not by any means.
Right.
I'm just saying that their style is not my style of wrestling. If I got in the ring with them, would I be able to keep up with that style? Yes, I'd be able to do that style, but
Okay.
I'm not jumping off the top rope outside the ring because I got to go to work tomorrow.
Did you guys expect that they would do the roll up for that finish or no?
No, I didn't. No. Just because I'm getting roll up burnout to be honest. I see so many matches. It's like I do miss the times where you could win a match without a finisher. I do miss that.
That was a long time ago.
That was
a long time ago.
That's probably like the 90s.
But I'm getting it.
Yeah, early
It's just a
90s.
roll up. Can we get something that's not a finisher or now I want to say or a roll up win a match?
But you know what's the funny thing though, Dave? Like back in the day, right? You know when you're talking about when you talk about finishes, finishes when they ended the match was a drop kick,
Right.
Yeah.
a crossbody,
Yep.
you know, a crucifix pin.
Yep.
Which
That's how you ended a match.
And I love that Bailey brought the belly to belly back as a finisher. I
Yeah.
love that.
Right. It's just a simple belly to belly suplex.
Shane Douglas style.
But you call it belly to belly. You know, but I mean, I did watch NXT first and I watched AEW second.
Okay.
And I obviously, you know, from watching both, I can, you know, intelligently tell you guys and the Ramblers, you know, which show I felt was the better show. I mean, you guys want to know?
We'll save for before the second hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Suspense.
you know,
Yeah, leave the Ramblers in suspense, buddy.
AEW. They were. God, I can't even go forward.
What do you think about the match? We'll just stick to that
Yes.
first match.
What did you think
so
about
that
the
first match?
What did you think about that?
I wasn't a fan of the match. I'm glad that the Young Bucks did not win, and I hate the fact that they bastardized it. They being Private Party, that they bastardized their finish.
Okay.
But and to bring to your earlier point, like you said, they the bosses. Maybe the bosses can't say we're going to put the titles on ourselves, but maybe they could say we're going to kick out your finisher.
Right.
So you know, maybe that's on them. Maybe it's not on Private Party.
Because it'd be so
Maybe
much.
It's not.
It'd be so much easier to say, hey, Cody, you're going to be the. Cody's sitting in a meeting and say, I'm going to make myself the world champion. Hangman, you're going to be the, you know, the whatever champion, and you guys will be the tag champs. You know, and we just run the show.
Which they could have easily
just
done
saying.
that immediately.
Maybe they're saying you'll take us out in the first round tournament, but we're going to kick out of your finisher. We got to look at least Kona strong in defeat. Maybe they said that to him. I don't know, but I'm just throwing that out there.
And that's why I was not a fan of TNA.
Right, I understand that.
Impact.
I totally understand.
I understand that too.
Hate that I used to go there and Jeff Jarrett was the champion every month.
Yeah. He had the belt on him always.
And it's like eventually, or at one point, him getting the belt. Of course, I understand that, but he definitely monopolized it for way too long.
Mm-hmm.
You could even make that argument about, sorry to say it, Antonio Inoki and New Japan Pro Wrestling. You could even make that argument. Granted, that was during a time when none of us were alive, but whatever.
that was what, late 70s?
So yeah, it was very early, but still, he's another one that you could say was guilty of that too.
Right.
609-910-0687. Give us a call. Let's talk about AEW. All right. So after that match, we had a shoot from Jericho, and from what I heard, rumor innuendo, that was unscripted.
Okay.
Completely.
Promos, when you go, like I said before, when you go to wrestling school, your promos are unscripted. They don't tell you. They might give you, you know, this is who you're working. This is who you're working. This is where you're working, and this is the match that you're going to work them in. Go.
So Jericho introduces his little groups that his buddies that he runs around with. So Sammy Guevara, former LAX, and Jack Hager.
Aren't they called the Inner Circle?
I was just gonna get that.
Oh, okay.
So they're now known as
You call them their buddies. I'm like, they have a name.
I was gonna get to that.
Jericho and friends.
All right,
Jericho and friends.
start over.
No, I'm not going to now. You blew the
start over.
finish.
No,
part.
go ahead.
Spoiler warning, Tristen.
Go ahead.
So he calls the group the Inner Circle, which merch is already out, and that merch broke the Pro Wrestling Tee website.
You know what? The website, I was looking at the website last night, doing
Yeah.
some research on some different things for Royal Ramble Radio.
I mean, this shirt right here.
No, that shirt will never
That will
end up on Pro Wrestling
If you want this T-shirt, PM me now, and we will get you. We'll try and get you one.
I don't know why anybody would want that shirt. Tristen Law sucks, but I mean, I saw a lot of people in attendance last week with them. So I guess
this is my new favorite T-shirt.
It's cool. It's trendy. All the kids are doing
Well,
it.
I mean-
Hashtag Tristan Law sucks.
I guess if they PM you, I mean, I guess they want the shirt. So,
Yeah, actually, I just got one message from someone.
I guess that means that you have the shirt.
Look at it this way. A lot of people want a Tristan Law shirt.
But now why they got to be a Tristan Law sucks
I'm
t-shirt?
just saying, you got to think positively. A lot of people want a Tristan Law shirt.
But you
Yeah.
know what though? I'll say this though. There weren't many of them in circulation, outside of that event. So I mean, I guess if people have it,
I know
at
a
least
guy.
they know
What can I say?
I'm just
Tristan
saying,
Law sucks. I don't suck. I am the man.
this could be the new Rusev Day.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not going to talk about that.
Could be.
So Jericho introduces the Inner Circle, which consists of Jack Hager, Sammy Guevara, and FK, formerly known as LAX. When he introduces Jack Hager, the crowd starts to pop "We the People." Started chanting it. Jericho stops and says, "Oh, wait a minute. What?"
I said this is dumbfounding to me. But yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
So
Nothing happening.
I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate
sorry.
that.
So you were saying that Jericho came out and Hager was introduced.
Hager
and everybody was
they were
chanting
"We the People." He said, "Hold on a second. Basically said that was stupid. We the People is dead and buried, and that's due to bad creative."
Yeah.
Which everyone got a cheap pop from it, and all of a sudden Jericho turns it around because he's the heel. He gets heat for saying that he hates Dusty. He hates Dustin. So he knows how to work a crowd really well.
Obviously. But hold on though, do we really think that We the People was bad creative?
No, that was
He made money off of it.
He made money off. WWE made money off of it, and it was over.
No,
but that was how long ago?
I'm more surprised that the AEW crowd went with it because I didn't think it was that over that and it's not like he didn't have a long career outside of that. That's why.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing that's the thing. I'm like, really? That's the thing you're most known for?
And if it wasn't over, they wouldn't be chanting We the
Exactly.
People.
Exactly.
Like, I loved the booking of it when he went against Rusev. I liked that. That was a great face turn. That was a great way to flip the gimmick. But originally as a heel, I was like, this is a little hot of an issue to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's like controversy creates cash. I get it. Bischoff ruling. But still, I wouldn't have gone with that. Initially, when they gave it to him, I'm like,
So let me go ahead and throw this into the atmosphere. We got Joe Delasanti on Facebook. He checks in and says, WWE needs to match the new Jericho faction with Randy Orton as the leader.
No.
How do you think that WWE should react to that, Dave?
I don't necessarily think they need to react to that.
I don't think they need to.
However, if they do, I don't know if Randy Orton is the guy to go against it. Go against the grain. It's not what I think. It's not where I would go at it at all because if you're going to have the Jericho faction, which is what it is, Randy is not the counterpoint to Chris Jericho.
No.
He never has been.
Nope.
Okay.
So who would you put in for that lead role? Who in WWE would you put as that lead?
He's not around now, but I've been actually wanting this for years outside of this issue. If he was around, to me, the number one guy is John Cena. It's
to start a heel faction?
Start a heel faction?
A would get people's attention.
Well,
B, Jericho. If you want the anti WWE, if you want the anti-Jericho, anti-AEW, the pro-WWE guy, Cena is the poster child. Yes, granted, Randy Orton has that too. But Cena is a qualified heel. He's capable. I think he's much better on the microphone than Randy Orton. I think so.
You're not going to get an argument here.
But let me ask you guys this. How could John Cena put anybody in that group if they can't see him? What? They can't see him. Maybe you can't see him. Maybe he had a faction the entire time and you couldn't see them. Maybe that's why he was winning. Everybody said Super Cena. Maybe it was like him and a bunch of people that you couldn't see. Okay. Thanks, Joe.
No.
But,
Good job. So, again, stating a fact.
I just see Cena where they tongue-in-cheek it, where it's like a reverse NWO. Instead of invaders, it's just loyalists. and it's just saying this is what we are. If Jericho is going to keep taking shots at them, then for me the natural reaction is to have a faction that says, well, this is who we are and we're proud of it and we're not backing down.
But the difference between if this hypothetical situation happens where the Jericho group goes against WWE group, creative has to give up control of what's being said on TV by the anti-AEW group, if that makes sense. Because Jericho's shoot that he did this past Wednesday, was unscripted. Right. Most of everything in WWE has been done scripted. They are told to read from a script.
Right.
Perfect example, Velveteen Dream's freaking promo this past Wednesday, because that was scripted and I couldn't really get behind it. That's me. But that was because I didn't want to see Roderick Strong's ding dong.
I get that, but for me, it's not about that. To me, if you don't, it's the Paul Heyman philosophy. You don't try to compete with the other guys by doing what they're going to do. No one's going to fall short.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's correct.
You can't sit there and say we're going to be more anti-WWE than AEW. That's their gimmick. Let them do it.
Yeah.
Be WWE. Show them why scripted promo. I don't like scripted promos. I'm just saying for me. But if you're going to have an anti-AEW faction that's going to be tongue-in-cheek referencing why WWE is the superior brand, then be scripted.
Right.
Be everything WWE is, but do it to the nth level to remind you of why you are the #1 company in the world.
That's right.
And have been for almost the entirety of your existence.
That's right.
That's true.
So that's what I think.
But he then says he's going to beat the living out of Cody at Full Gear on November 9th, which I'll be watching. I know everyone else in this room is probably going to be watching that. But it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good pay-per-view.
I like professional wrestling. I'm going to be watching it, period.
Yeah, I think really quickly, Tristen, how many hours of pro wrestling did you watch this week?
Golly. Okay, so could somebody count for me? Can one of you guys count for me?
I'm counting.
Okay, so I watched 3 hours of Monday Night Raw.
So that's 3 hours.
I watched 1 hour of NWA.
The 1 hour NWA. Okay, go ahead.
I watched 2 hours of NXT.
That's 6.
I watched 2 hours of Impact Wrestling.
8.
And then I watched 3 hours of Hell in a Cell.
11.
Golly.
Plus whatever. Like, did you watch AEW Dark?
I did. I watched that. So that's another hour.
That's 14.
What else?
Did you watch Being the Elite?
No.
Then okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not thinking about it now. What was that? 12 hours of wrestling?
14.
14 hours of wrestling.
14 hours of wrestling. Guys.
I watched a half a day's worth of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Starting Sunday.
Yeah. And it's gonna get because now we're gonna get, but we haven't touched New Japan yet.
And SmackDown still.
Right.
SmackDown still to go. Don't forget SmackDown. SmackDown from Friday too.
Fair enough.
So that's.
You're right.
16 hours.
16 hours.
16 hours of professional wrestling.
Because our week now starts on Friday.
Yeah. I know it's a change in the shift in the guard. What can I say?
Okay, so here's what we got. Our boy Joe Lovely checks in on Facebook.
Oh, Joe.
He's talking about AEW, the women's division. He said AEW needs a women's division before WWE should respond with anything to counter what AEW is doing on their programming.
Actually, that was the next thing I was going to say. I agree because that women's match wasn't. It's just like.
I think I took a note on that. Let me look at that.
I think because I actually took notes, but that was the one thing I missed.
I thought it was a very good job of commentary. I thought they really. First of all, the commentary was way better this week.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree.
But second of all, when they pointed out Riho's only AEW loss was in a tag match where she was with Britt Baker, I'm like, that's an interesting fact, a bit of history, even though the company's new, that they sprinkled in there. That was good. I thought Capital's I thought AEW's commentary did a real good job of incorporating that into the world in terms of the lexicon of AEW. I thought they did a good job of really making this now expanding beyond it.
Here's the note that I took on the women's match. I thought the women's tag match, I wasn't a fan of it. Britt Baker's good.
She is.
But the one Asian woman, I don't remember her name.
Was it Riho or the bigger one?
The other one. The one Asian woman who tagged with Priestley.
Henry?
Whatever her name is.
Henry, I think it was.
She had some weak knee strikes, and I think Britt Baker shouldn't have sold them. I think Britt Baker and Priestley are good. Riho, I'm not sold on Riho.
I'm not sold on her as a women's champion.
I'm not sold on her
at all.
The same thing like you said. I think Riho's strikes are weak too.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, especially when she worked Nyla Rose last week. No way, I wouldn't have sold half them things.
No, I wouldn't either.
Here's the weird part for me. Because, number one, I don't think that's like training or anything. Because for me, I don't know about anyone else. Look, I'm sorry to play the size game, okay? But when you're like a 90-pound girl, I don't care what you throw, it ain't gonna look effective,
But
especially
you know what?
against Nyla.
You know, lay the shit in. That's what. If I was Nyla Rose, I would have been in the ring. Lay that shit in.
Yep.
You need to hit me. If you feel like you can't get across,
Agreed.
you need to lay it in.
But
Because
still,
you're 90 pounds. I'm just going to eat them things either way.
But still, I'm not gonna take it seriously. It's like, it's like if there's a 10-year-old, no matter how hard a 10-year-old throws a punch, it's not going to look effective on TV.
And she looks like a 10-year-old.
She does.
Yeah. And
no offense to her.
no offense either.
No,
exactly.
and
But I want to bring up another example from the Mae Young Classic and NXT, Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. Now, look, I don't buy Kairi Sane's size either. I think it's a detriment. However, the Mae Young Classic match, they sold that rib injury of Shayna not being able to breathe. I believed it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it made sense to me.
Right.
Now I can digest this. Not really. Like in a real fight, there's no chance that Kairi Sane could ever touch Shayna Baszler.
Never.
No.
But
Never.
in the moment, I'll buy it. You know. So like,
Never.
if AEW did that with Nyla, with Nyla and Riho, okay. But they did it. They just had, here's a match, and you're just supposed to take this seriously.
Right.
And it's like,
So I definitely do agree that the women's
division.
The
needs
women's
to be
division, man, you can't. There's not one person in the women's division in AEW that can touch Charlotte, that can touch Sasha,
No.
that can touch. I mean,
in what sense? In what
in
sense?
in putting on a compelling, entertaining show. Let me rephrase that. I'm not saying that the women in AEW can't do it. We just haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
I will counter with one name, Awesome Kong.
But
Period.
But how many?
Awesome Kong's one person.
She's one
But you
person,
said
not
one.
a whole division.
But you said
Okay,
not
fine.
one. You said not one.
Fine.
My answer is
Fine.
always going to be
Okay,
Awesome
fine.
Kong. I'm a huge Awesome Kong.
I agree.
Mark.
We-
So let
you
me
guys-
rephrase my question.
Okay.
AEW does not have at
Sure.
least two people.
Okay.
Give me somebody.
Britt.
Awesome Kong.
I haven't seen much from Britt to emotionally invest. To be like, you know
Okay.
what?
Well, let me back this up. I think it's their booking because I think Allie is capable of it for sure.
Yeah, she is.
For her time, for all of her career, Allie's definitely capable of
Who's that? Britt Baker?
No,
No,
Allie is Allie.
Is that the
Al.
girl that's in Impact?
No.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Just keep talking. I'm
No,
here.
she's also a very
that's
nice-
what's her name.
she's
That's
also a very
Smiley.
nice person.
Smiley went to Impact.
Yeah, Allie for sure. Britt Baker is most certainly capable of it. I think AEW's mess up was there was one name from the women's division in the independent scene, not in WWE, that they had to get. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know what happened, but I would have just doled out the money. It was Tessa Blanchard. How they did not
Yes.
get Tessa is mind blowing.
Well, I think
Yes.
Tessa's still loyal to Impact, and she was working something with Sami Callihan at the time. So
there
was
rumors-
still that.
Yeah,
Let
there
me
are
tell
rumors
you.
that she might get the Impact title.
I'm okay with
The
that.
men's,
I'm
the main
okay with
title.
that. I'm okay
Tessa,
with that.
man. I want to see a Tessa on a Charlotte.
I
That's
would
what I
love
want.
to see that.
I want to see a horsewoman faction with Tessa in it.
Yes,
Yes.
like Tessa's good. I don't think Tessa's like Charlotte good. Like if you ask me, I think Charlotte is the.
I'm taking her
I
over
think
so-
Charlotte is the best, not including Awesome Kong. Put your penis away. I think that Charlotte is the best women's professional wrestler.
What about your girl?
Yeah. What about Sasha?
What about your girl?
You know what's funny?
Where does she fit
I
in there?
did on Twitter, like somebody posted, what are your top 7 women wrestlers, and they posted they gave you 7 wrestlers, female wrestlers,
Mhm.
and here's who I chose.
Okay.
Number 7, I put Ember Moon.
Oh,
Number
yep, I
number
agree.
6, I put Kairi Sane. Number 5, I
Really?
put Asuka. Number 4, I put Bayley. Number 3, I put Becky Lynch. Number 2, I put Sasha, and number 1, I put Charlotte.
Was
This
it
is not on
specific?
that list.
Okay, so
It was
let's
only
let me
it was
ask.
only
Oh,
those 6
okay.
people.
I was
I'm
about to
sorry,
say if it's only WWE, then yeah, I can understand that.
Yes.
But as a general, in general, who would be? And Tessa's gonna be in my top 5, hands down,
Yeah, easily.
easily.
If this was outside of WWE, but they gave the top. They gave
They
the top
want
7.
okay.
But I mean,
Give me
I
your
think
top
that
7 of this 7. That's a very oddly specific.
I'm sorry,
list.
Yeah.
they gave 7 of only WWE.
Okay, that's
But see, even including WWE, I'm putting Candice LeRae, I'm putting Toni Storm. Like I know they didn't give you that,
Yes.
but I'm saying that these are
Right.
Shayna Baszler, and not for nothing, Shayna Baszler too. Like I'm all putting. There's a lot of women I would put on that list that weren't an option.
But you know what? Some of those they would have definitely knocked off Ember Moon. They would have definitely knocked
Yep.
off Kairi Sane.
Candice would have knocked.
I
out
have no
Ember Moon.
problem knocking out Kairi Sane.
Because
personally.
Kairi Sane is good, but
She is.
Let me-
But
I love her. I love her gimmick when she comes out with the wheel and the
Yeah.
gimmick and the hat and the elbow that she does.
You know they turned
like,
heel, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
no, I'm
you know,
sorry. You throw you throw a sack of potatoes from someone who weighs you throw a baby from the top rope dropping an elbow. It's not. You ain't the Macho Man. I can't take it serious. I really can't.
Right.
I've tried. I've tried so much.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
Moxley and Spears. What do you guys think of this?
That match. Remember when I told you I didn't like that first match because it felt like it was a car crash?
Yeah.
This match was a storytelling match.
Yes,
it
I
was.
agree.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. I did have some issues with some parts of the match between Jon Moxley and Shawn Spears. Like there were some times that match should have ended in DQ plenty of times.
Yes, I agree.
But we are going to get into referees later on, I guess.
Yeah, we are.
So I felt like the referee did give a little bit too much liberty. Like, when is enough enough?
Well,
when do you stop the match?
They've been doing that with the AEW a lot. It's a lot of the referees have been giving a little more leeway to outside stuff than most other referees. So,
and I get
like the Nyla Rose match, throwing those freaking chairs in there. It's a championship match. It's not a non-DQ match.
Or the tag match from last week.
Bingo.
Or the tag match from last night, the ladies match. When Britt Baker had her in the gimmick to finish the match to submit the other girl, she had her hands in her mouth. That should have initiated a 5 count and the hold should have been broken.
Yep.
You don't cover the mouth or the nose or whatever it is.
I agree with you. Storytelling was much better. I really liked, but two things. One, to tie into something we were talking about earlier. Have you noticed that Shawn Spears isn't getting the 10 thing as much as Hager's getting the We the People?
No,
I find that odd. You would think it's the other way around.
He does it at the beginning of the match, but he doesn't use it. So literally,
but you know what I mean. But
I get what you mean. Yeah.
The crowd is adopting adopted the. That's what I mean. I was shocked by that.
You know why?
We the People was more over than 10. I'm like,
you know why? Oh. I don't think the 10 thing we remember, but it didn't get enough mileage.
No, it didn't. It got mileage in NXT more than it got in the main roster.
I think they reinvented Shawn much better than they did with Hager. I think that's why. But it's just something I just noticed was weird.
Good point.
But the other thing that I want to talk about for this match was that I have no problem with it. It was good, but I feel like maybe they blew their load with a pay-per-view money match by giving it away on TV. I think this might have been a little too big.
No, I don't think.
I think you could really build a Moxley and Shawn Spears match way bigger than this. So it got no fanfare. It was just kind of like, and tonight, by the way,
right?
We didn't even know what was happening. It's just last minute. Oh yeah, Moxley
I think you could
Spears.
make some money off of this. I really think you could hype it.
Those are people that sat underneath the tree of Dusty Rhodes.
Yes.
Those are the people that learned that WWE style, that style that has set the bar for the past couple years.
Mm-hmm.
For the past 20 years. Like I don't think I said this last week, but when you went to wrestling school, you learned the WWE style. You learned this is how you cut a promo in WWE.
Yep.
This is how you get. This is what WWE is looking for. So now, in the next couple of years, the next 10 years, hopefully NWA sticks around. Hopefully Impact gets better.
Yep.
Hopefully AEW doesn't go anywhere. WWE is still there. NXT is still there. Now it's going to be like, here's how you get a job. Period.
Right.
But they those two guys sitting underneath the tree of Dusty Rhodes, they bring the style that we're used to.
Yeah. It was a nice back and forth storytelling match. There was a lot of bumps, like the Death Valley driver into the center of the side rail. That should have DQ'd it immediately.
I really do think the rules are. I mean, I would love it if they just announced that, hey, rules, we only kind of enforce them, but they don't. Yeah. It's clearly what's happening, but they're not talking about it.
Or they should say, hey, we have rules, but just not on Wednesday night. You check back on Thursday night.
Yeah. Or
but they don't do wrestling on Thursday night.
Or say, we're a little looser with the rules here. I wish they kind of made some sort of declaration instead of just having it out there.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's got to be. They got to have more declaration of the rules. At the end of the match. You had Moxley and Kenny face off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The broom of death versus the baseball bat of death, barbed wire, Barbie, and they had a nice little face off, and then all of a sudden Pac, who was on commentary, comes back and hits him in the back of the neck with a chair, and just walks away. So it's kind of moving stuff together.
Yes.
So it's making it feel like AEW is its own world
yes.
where storylines are crossing over. So I'm very excited for that. And Pac did make a good point on commentary.
Absolutely.
Since this is it's a record-based league. You got Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc, who are not undefeated, but Pac is. have a number one has a title shot next week, and
Mhm.
he hasn't even been considered yet. So I agree with him on that, but it's more so that I guess they just want Jericho to work over some people really quickly before he faces Cody at Full Gear. But I think Pac should get a shot,
Oh, of
hands
course.
down.
Especially since I think it was very clear from the beginning that was their original intent to give him the title.
Yep.
Again, going back to what I said earlier, that I love that the commentary is really building, fleshing things out. They're connecting dots.
Uh-huh.
They're not pretending. Like, one criticism I have a lot of modern WWE stuff is, like, commentary will go out of their way to pretend that certain things didn't happen.
Right.
You know, it's like, remember when Triple H and The Undertaker had their, back-to-back WrestleMania matches?
Right.
17 never happened. Shut up.
But you know
Shut
what?
up.
Yes, it did.
And I guess in the art of trying to tell the story, it never really did happen because it's not relevant to the current story.
No, it's not.
No, but I like that AEW now is tying all their threads together.
Yeah.
However, I do think it's a bit problematic, potentially, if they are backing off on their own rules. I love that Pac called them out on it, but is this going to be a problem that they announced themselves as a company that was going to make sure that wins and losses mattered, and now we're already seeing that maybe it
doesn't matter.
I like it as a story element. I almost think that breaking that rule should happen later, like pointing that out as, hey, well, I thought wins and losses mattered. You bring that up like in year 3.
Right.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, is this necessarily a good idea or is it not? That's what I'm wondering.
But yeah, I kind of like how everything's being intertwined. It's
right.
really freaking.
Yeah.
It's really cool. 609-910-0687. Give us a shout. Let us know what you thought. Call us. We're here.
Tell us what we should eat for dinner.
Oh. Well, I guess this person's gonna tell us what we're eating for dinner.
Maybe it's Domino's calling us.
Maybe is this Domino's?
Man, if I was Domino's Pizza, I definitely wouldn't be calling you guys. I'd be calling myself.
Hey.
What's up, Joe?
What's going on, Joe?
That's Joe in North Carolina, guys.
Nothing much. Hey, guys. Oh, by the way, Brian, nice haircut. Pal.
Oh, why? Thank you. I kind of, I kind of went for the Paul look. I don't know if you like the beard with the bald head.
Yeah, it looks like less like a haircut, more like a robbery. Like someone stole it from you.
I bet with that haircut you got a free bowl of soup, huh?
You know, one of the worst parts, Joe, about doing when we were starting off back in the day, and we were doing this whole gimmick
in A.
You never had to like shave or
Nope.
anything like that.
Nope.
You could just come looking like a piece of crap. And now it's like, man, I gotta make sure my hair is combed, and like I make sure my line is straight.
Yeah,
I gotta
right.
make sure I shape my face down.
So really,
it's hard work looking pretty for Royal Ramble.
So really quickly, Joe.
Much harder for someone
Much
like you.
Yeah, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the shirt? Would you buy this shirt?
Would I buy that shirt? Nah, come on, man.
Thank you.
I like Tristen.
Come on!
I mean,
Thank
I
you.
can't. I
If
can't.
you
put a
really like him,
Tristen
you would
Law
buy
shirt
a
on.
Tristen shirt.
Yes, if you really do like Tristen, you should buy this shirt. But
No.
what's going on, brother?
Yeah, but you know what? That's like me buying a Mets jersey. That ain't gonna.
Wow, I should hang up on the phone to you right now.
You should buy a Mets jersey.
Well,
You should buy a Mets
I'll
jersey.
say this
Dan.
though, in my friend Joe's defense, if he needs toilet paper, he should buy the Mets jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
And you should have a
Especially
Giants
for
jersey
Pete
too.
Alonso. Dear God. I mean, I'm just going to say this one thing. You know, Pete Alonso might have beaten Judge's rookie record, but, you know, I'm pretty daggone sure when Judge broke that rookie record, oh, yeah, that's right, the Yankees made the playoffs.
Lottie fucking freaking da. All right? I deal with
they
this.
ended the season on a really good game.
Joe, my wife's a freaking Yankees fan. This is all I hear every single minute.
That's why you married her.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's talk wrestling.
Let's
Joe,
talk
what you
wrestling,
got?
Joe. What you got?
All right. You know what? Actually, I'm going to bring this up because, you know, you were talking about the women out there. Let's just think back to 5 years ago.
Okay.
5 years ago.
Okay. I don't want to think about it.
Would we even be having this conversation after a 30-second mixed tag match that started this revolution to even having a comparison between two separate professional wrestling associations? Two separate women's divisions. And not only that, one of the women's divisions can probably carry the flagship shows of WWE. Let's be honest here. Charlotte, Becky, they're on that same level as Roman and Seth right now. They can probably carry SmackDown. Let's just think about that. 5 years time period, we've gone from them being complete afterthoughts to Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch probably headlining two of the flagship shows for WWE. That's impressive enough as it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
but with this AEW and NXT thing, what's getting NXT over is that women's division. because that women's division is getting the reps.
Yep.
AEW's women division, they are not getting the reps. They don't have that house, that Florida circuit or whatever touring circuit that NXT has. And you can see where Bea Priestley and Britt Baker and all them, they're not getting the reps with each other, and it looks sloppy in the ring. Yeah. Now, look at Rhea Ripley against Aaliyah. Now, Aaliyah, I know a lot of people probably aren't high on her as a wrestler, but she's probably got more reps underneath her belt than Dagon Riho does.
Right. I was definitely going to say that she's definitely head and shoulders above Riho. Even though Aaliyah is just enhancement talent. You know what? Somebody's got to lose, and I'm glad that she has a job.
Yeah.
Even though she was not over with me last week or 2 weeks ago.
But when you look at it, what is making NXT so much better or what's making NXT on par right now? It's that filler time in between, and that filler time in between, that's 5 years of the NXT's women's division, starting from the four horsewomen going up to the modern day four horsewomen of MMA now being in NXT. In that 5 years, that filler time is what's separating AEW from NXT and being head and shoulders above NXT on Wednesdays.
You know the thing too, Joe? Speaking about the women's division, I'm thinking back to 2007. My very first WWE pay-per-view was in Jacksonville, Florida, when I lived in Florida. It was 2007. And it was...
was that December to December?
No, it was Extreme Rules.
It was Extreme Rules.
Oh, okay.
And I remember that 2 days later, I started wrestling school at Team 3D in Florida. But either way, the ladies' matches were just your bathroom matches. There's nothing special about the ladies' matches. And I'm thinking about it today, like, in my top 5 wrestlers, there are women in my top 5 wrestlers.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go to 2010. Even in 2010, almost 10 years ago, in my top 5 wrestler, my top 10 wrestler, there wasn't one woman in there.
Nope.
But now I'm in 2019, almost 2020. Let me tell you, Charlotte, Sasha, Asuka, Bayley. There's women in my top 10. So ladies wrestling is where it's at, and WWE's done a great job with ladies wrestling, and I hope that the ladies wrestling in AEW gets a lot better.
I agree.
Yeah, and to add to that, one of my favorite matches of all time is now a women's match, which never.
Let me guess. One of them had Awesome Kong in it.
No, I want to, but I think. See, for me, I remember the way I remember it is I think not enough credit goes to Natty because her match against Charlotte for the NXT
Women's Championship, that was a great match.
I think that's what really started things, but also Paige too from before,
right?
When she came up to the main roster.
Yep.
But I think the reason why we're looking at things a little differently now, though, is with NXT's women division, because let's be real, NXT's women division is what made it for WWE, the company. It's what started the chain. Is there was no expectation on it. It just kind of happened. It was good and people started to notice. TNA, and also TNA had the Knockouts division was light years ahead.
Yes.
This is where the Awesome Kong comes in. Was light years ahead. But also, there was no expectation for NXT's women. But now, because of the revolution, we're staring at AEW and saying, well, what are you going to do with your women? Or we're staring at Ring of Honor and we're looking at everybody and judging them off of a higher standard. And not saying that that's not fair or obvious. It's just NXT had a different NXT and Raw too and SmackDown when the revolution started. There was no expectation, so therefore it was easier to appreciate them. But now the bar has been raised, and so now everybody else struggles because the bar's been raised.
Yep. So what else you got for us, Joe?
Well, you know what, guys? I said my piece about the women's division. I said that, but to be honest with you, best show out of that 14 hours of wrestling out there was that 1 hour on Facebook Live at 6:05 on Tuesday. I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely loved NWA Power. It was a phenomenal change of pace, and I am looking forward to more of that.
It was a nice change of pace. I will, like I said at the beginning of the show, I kind of off the air, I kind of said something with Dave about this. It's like, I for personal beliefs, I'm not a fan of Cornette, so that's just me, but it's not going to stop me from watching it at all.
I'm blocked by him on Twitter.
Well, I hope I get blocked by him because he's a schmuck.
I like him.
I'm blocked by him because of who I voted for in 2016. So just think about that if that's
Ralph Nader?
The temperament.
Well, I will say this. The reason why I think that NWA Power was the best show this week is because Coca-Cola tastes a lot. You enjoy Coca-Cola in an 8-ounce can than in a 20-ounce bottle.
That's
Because
true.
you know you have less of it, so you got to savor it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Hey, and you know what? If you guys do want to bring up a Coke reference, you can't tell me that Coke from McDonald's, Coke from a fountain, Coke from a bottle, Coke from a can, and Coke from a plastic bottle. I'm talking about a glass bottle there on that first one. You can't tell me all 5 of them don't taste exactly.
No, they don't.
No,
They don't.
different, but it's
I
the
can
same
I can
product.
I can guarantee you, because I've had Snapple in a glass bottle and Snapple in a plastic bottle. Snapple in a glass bottle tastes better, much better than the one in the plastic.
Yep, and McDonald's Coke tastes better than every other Coke that's out there on those fountain drinks.
That is scientifically true.
You get
That is
different flavors of the same different. You're getting it in a different way, and they each taste different. And everybody's got their own nice little.
Yeah, but you
know,
got Mr.
niche
Pibb
that they
down
would
there,
like
too.
To keep as the taste.
It is scientifically proven that the McDonald's Coke is best.
You know what, Joe? I think that you're building up a Coke habit, and you might need to talk to somebody about that.
Seriously.
But I appreciate you you calling, brother, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, brother.
Guys, you guys have a great week. I'm definitely going to listen in to the rest of the show.
Thank you, brother. Joe
That's Joe. That's one of our wrestling friends. Let me tell you, I love professional wrestling in 2019.
Yeah.
Like, I'm making friends that are not wrestlers that like wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. You're making friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry.
What do you think you are?
Don't worry. Only half
No.
of the people. No. Half of the people in this room are my friend. The other half is just like some schmuck that we found.
But a brilliant schmuck.
Yeah. Well.
And a handsome one at that.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that.
But Joe's one of our regulars. Joe has some really good points. And another person I like hearing from as well too is Steve in Pennsylvania. Steve listens, and he has some really good points.
Yeah, he makes good points.
I also want to just, maybe it's a coincidence, but I do want to point out. So Joe's from, as you said, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And then we have.
He's actually from New Jersey.
He's actually from Jersey,
but he lives in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm from Pennsylvania. It's like, is it a coincidence that these are wrestling areas? ECW in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, North Kakalaka, of course, Flair Country.
True.
I mean, I'm waiting for somebody from Georgia to call up next. Like,
I know people. Hey, 609-910-0687. Please prove Dave wrong.
Yeah, you from Hotlanta? Call up. Prove me wrong. I'm saying that these people are from wrestling areas.
What else we got on the menu?
Darby Allin versus Jimmy Havoc. Okay. So
Chicago, Minnesota too. I
Yeah.
don't want to ignore those states because those are also wrestling territories, big wrestling areas.
So I initially thought this was going to be a straight up spot match from what we saw at the Cracker Barrel Bash.
Oh, it wasn't?
It really wasn't. I don't think it was much of a spot fest as usually was.
I still can't get over that name.
Well, listen, Cracker Barrel's amazing.
It is. I love it, but that's not. I don't need peanut butter and chocolate. Don't always need to be mixed.
No, that's right.
Yes, they do. They're delicious.
I mean, I'm allergic to one of them, so
they are delicious. But I'm just saying, never mind. Point of the matter is, again, I think it's the same thing as the Young Bucks private party match. It's not as much of a spot fest in comparison to the other thing, but that doesn't mean it's not a spot fest.
Yeah.
Right, Tristan? Because we've been agreeing surprisingly a lot today.
Yeah, this is very weird. Am I in a Twilight Zone here?
So you want to hear the note that I took in that match?
I want to hear it.
I put that Jimmy Havoc and Darby Allin are crazy as heck.
Yes.
You can't give that big outside bump every show. So like in professional wrestling, we have this thing called that we proverbially call the bump card.
Okay.
And the bump card is like when you go to like Baskin Robbins and they give you stamps and stuff like that. So like the thing that
let me look at my wallet right now. See, I think I have one.
The thing that one of the things that we say is that hey, you don't want to punch out your bump card because you could only physically take so many bumps in your entire lifetime. And once your bump card is punched out, guess what that means? You cannot physically take another bump.
I'm not laughing at you. It's just you reminded me of a story.
So like for me,
I don't have one.
So like for me, like I always say, at 34, I'm a much smarter wrestler than I was at 24.
Right.
Yeah.
At 24, I was them.
Because you got a chip on your shoulder, you got something to prove.
You got something to prove.
I was ready to jump off of everything, nailed down to the ground. But sometimes it wasn't nailed down, I was jumping off of it.
Jimmy Havoc ain't that young, though.
No, he's not.
How old is Jimmy Havoc?
Older than you think.
He's
and also, but
late 20s.
But here's my other thing about this though. I agree with you, the bump card. I agree 100%. But there is some weird variable I would like to point out, and that weird variable, his name is Jeff Hardy. Because how is he still? I mean, yeah, I'm not talking about the thing that just happened, but I'm just saying, how is he still going? It makes no sense to me.
But he's dealt with a busload of injuries because of his style.
But Edge retired. Christian retired.
Edge is cleared for ring action.
Rumor and innuendo.
Rumor and innuendo. But
I'm just pointing out, look at the list of guys. Matt Hardy was retired, came back, but there was a period of time where everybody was done from that original TLC match except Jeff. How does that happen?
But you see,
I agree with you, the Bumgar. I'm just saying, how did that happen? But how does this happen?
Let me say this about Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah.
I'm not saying for them to change their style whatsoever. I'm saying, hey, if that's what got them to the dance, then continue to do that to bring you through the dance. But for me personally, I'm not going to take that coffin bump, that coffin drop that he took, spine first to the ring apron.
Oh no,
or
that's the first time he hit that, by the
way. Or you're jumping out the ring and up the rope and off of everything. Like, yeah, cool. I remember there was a time in WWE that diving outside of the rope, outside of the ring was special. You know why? Because you had people like The Undertaker who only did it once a year.
Yep.
Now, every match you jump out the ring. So you know what The Undertaker...
Suicida,
I hate it myself. I very much
So now you leave nothing for nobody else. Like for me, again, when I'm working on a show, you know what the most important thing for me on a show is, Brian and Dave?
What's that?
Watching the matches before me.
Yep.
Because I don't want to go out there and do what everybody else is doing. So I may say something like, hey, I'm doing a... Where my opponent's jumping off the turnbuckle for a crossbody tonight. Anybody else doing a crossbody?
Right.
Yeah, we're doing a crossbody. They're the match before us. Okay, cool. We're not doing a crossbody.
Yeah.
If they're the match after that, too bad, so sad. Because I'm gonna do mine's better than yours. You probably shouldn't do one of yours. Unless it's somebody's finish. If I'm working a match with Shawn Michaels, ain't nobody doing a super kick tonight.
Well, everyone's gonna do a super kick now.
It shouldn't happen.
No, but see, I love that you brought that up because when it comes to independent wrestling, especially, and AEW still has an indie feel to it, but independent wrestling as well as modern day wrestling as a whole, your place on the card matters, and people don't think about that as much as they should.
Yeah.
But two, when it comes to independent wrestling, sometimes you're working with guys. It's not a stable roster. Sometimes you're working with guys you never have before, and if you're not all on the same page, you don't know what the other guy's finishes.
That's right.
But you should be. And so it's something that people need to check in. Placement on the card. I love that you brought that up.
That's right.
But also knowing what other people's finishes is. That's something that a lot of independent companies don't think about, which they should. Because I think it definitely affects the entire show.
You know what, too, Dave? When I was wrestling back in the day, I never really understood like that my spot on the card was a small part of a bigger picture.
Yeah.
I was the match right after intermission on Saturday night. And I knew my role. My role was to wake the crowd up. They got a match right before intermission, and now there's a lull. My job is to wake the fans up. And trust me, when I came out, they were alive.
Oh, they were alive.
And when I walked back through that curtain, I went next.
Right.
Next, hey, you guys go do your part.
Right.
Go do your part. I'm not going to go out there and wrestle a main event style match because I wasn't the main event.
Right.
Yeah.
However, if I was the match before intermission, if you ask me,
that's the main event.
That is a main event.
Yep.
And those guys that went out there was a tag team match.
Okay.
And they wrestled a main event style match for them.
Yeah.
With all the big spots and stuff like that. You can't be the first match doing all the big spots. You got to leave something for somebody else.
But not everyone has that foresight.
That's
which
correct.
They should,
yeah.
But they should.
That's correct.
But that comes with experience too.
But Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc, man, that number one contenders match, man, golly, it was, man. It was a car crash kind of a match. I'm glad that nobody got taped to a chair.
Yep.
And got gimmick stapled with this gimmick staple gun.
Actually, you know what the funny thing is? In an interview I was watching today with Joey Janela, he was actually talking about a part in that match where he got staple gunned.
Mm-hmm.
He basically said that no, that wasn't like a fake. That was an actual staple in his head where they did the monkey flip for the chair.
Yeah.
In that spot.
What staple? What staple?
The staple gun. That anyway.
You talking about that last pay-per-view where they had the staple gun and they did the whole gimmick? That was the staple gun might have been real.
Yeah.
The staple. According to Janela on this interview, saying the staples were real.
Well, of course, but it doesn't matter because of course he's going to say it's real. Even
I know.
if it wasn't real, he's going to say.
But yeah, I've seen the spots that Joey Janela's taken. It wouldn't surprise me if he actually took a staple to the head.
I believe it was real, but I'm just saying that.
That's me too.
I'm just saying he would say it's real anyway, so you can't go by that.
Okay. You want to take over the show now, Dave?
No, I was agreeing with you. I was backing you up.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, Brian. Come on, Brian.
All right. Then the last match is Sammy Guevara and Jericho versus Dustin and Adam Page. With Jack Hager on the outside being the enforcer for the Inner Circle. Good match. Very good match. Ended with Hager getting involved, distracting Dustin and Judas Effect to win the match 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the match, they start beating up on everyone. Cody, the lights go out. Cody shows up, starts attacking Jericho. Jericho basically gets the rest of the inner circle in to beat him down.
Mm-hmm.
And then MJF comes down with a chair. Now, the way MJF was postured is that he's going to strike Cody, but he doesn't. So, is MJF heel? Is he face? Like, what's going on here? Like, I don't understand it.
That, for me, was very confusing to me.
Yeah.
Because I said that last week. I said that, MJF is a heel. He's the biggest heel in professional wrestling today. I mean, next to me.
Yeah, he is.
He's the biggest
No,
heel
he's
in
bigger than
professional.
you. Hate to tell you.
I said next to me. Stand next to me. Him and I are the same size.
And he would. Okay.
After the stuff I told those people,
Do you have a
this week,
scarf that no one can afford?
I mean, why? Well, I'm gonna buy a scarf nobody could afford, so I can do what? Throw it on the floor? That's stupid. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyway.
So, but yeah, so I said that last week, Dave, that he's a heel, and he comes out with Cody Rhodes, and now he's a heel again last week, and now he's a baby face again.
It's weird. And we're not going to say that word that we're not allowed to say because you think it's a stupid thing. And
you know what?
exist.
I was just thinking the same exact thing, Brian. The word that he's talking about is tweener. I hate that word.
I hate that word
and
too.
the reason why I was thinking about that is because I was thinking that maybe AEW is trying to reinvent professional wrestling.
That would make
I am been suspecting that myself. Because this is something I've been talking about on my show, Dave Knows Wrestling over on YouTube, as well as just in general, is the whole the traditional heel versus face dynamic. Yes, I prefer it. But is this something that is truly necessary and integral to professional wrestling?
Yes.
Or is it something I have to get over? Because let's look at MMA. I mean, they don't have real sports. I know. I'm not the fan of it either, but I'm just saying real sports don't have standard heels and faces. Some people are just people. They're just athletes. And if you like them or not, and it's just the way it is. Is professional wrestling allowed to be that as well? Or do you have to fit into a heel face mold? Remember, I prefer the heel face mold. But is it because I'm used to it, or is it because it's mandatory that professional wrestling does that? I don't know. I don't know.
If you're asking me, I think that you need heel and face in professional wrestling because going back to the first story ever told to man was God versus the devil. That's good versus evil. The whole entire Bible is good versus evil. And then you're looking at the favorite movie, Back to the Future. It starts off with good versus evil. Star Wars, because the Russians were trying to get the plutonium from the dot.
They were Libyan.
Whatever.
They were Libyan, yeah.
Whatever. But you need.
No. Were they the Libyans?
Yes, they were the Libyans. But you need good versus evil.
First of all, I saw the movie in the theater, so I believe I'm.
You're old. You're old.
Yep.
I did see it in the theater, but it wasn't in 1985. It was in 2012.
Same with
No,
me.
it was in 1985. I saw it.
Golly, how old are you, Dave?
37.
Oh wow.
We're the same. No, I'm 36. Never mind.
Yeah, he's probably a kid when he's seen it.
Probably.
Yeah.
So anyway, but
yes.
yeah, I think that you need to in order if there's no good and evil, then what are you fighting for? If there's a championship, then yes. But if there's no good and there's no evil, then what are you really fighting for? You agree on the same thing.
Like I said, you don't got to sell me on the idea.
No,
I'm just pointing out that
me
other sports don't have that, and yet
bullshit.
Not everybody. I mean, yeah, if you want to say the Yankees are evil, yes,
they are evil.
But I'm pretty sure the Cincinnati Reds are nothing. Like they're not heels or faces,
But you know what though? But when you put and I'm going to use a wrestling term, when you put a gimmick onto what you're doing, you make money.
Yeah.
The reason why people hate Floyd Mayweather is because he's a heel.
Sure.
He's a heel.
Absolutely.
He's a heel. He comes out there and he makes you want to pay that money to see him get punched in the face.
Until he went to professional wrestling, then he was a face for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, big messed up on that one.
Right.
Big messed up.
Yeah,
but for somebody like that, it's easy for him to step over from the left to the right because you know what?
I hear you.
He can work. He can work.
I'm just wondering if there was a professional wrestling company out there that decided to say, "Hey, forget about it. We're not doing heels and faces. Everyone's just going to be what they are. And if you like them, fine. If you want to cheer them, fine. If you want to boo them, fine." Is that something that can happen, or is that just something? Am I too old-fashioned to get over it, or is it the way of the future, or is it something that can exist? I just don't know.
Me neither.
So after that, the MJF attacked the Inner Circle, and then Bucks came out to save him, and then they're clearing house, and then Darby Allin rides down on a skateboard down the ramp and attacks Jericho with it.
Stupid. He should have hit himself in the face with a skateboard. Where's he going to a professional wrestling event with a skateboard? Should have hit himself in the face with it.
It's his gimmick.
Okay.
Hey, Shane Douglas and John Laurinaitis did it.
Well, you know what though?
But yeah, but Darby Allin can pull it off. Laurinaitis can't.
The Undertaker came down on a motorcycle, so I'm just going to sit back and recline in my seat.
There you go.
Okay. No, fair, very
to
fair.
Limp Bizkit
We're not. No, we won't keep rolling here.
and
Absolutely
Kid
not.
Rock.
Can we not talk about those dark years of the Undertaker, please?
I guess not.
No. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna talk about NXT, a few points, and then we're gonna talk about that pay-per-view that happened this weekend.
What pay-per-view?
Exactly. So we'll see you guys in 2 minutes. Oh, you didn't know?
Yep.
You didn't know? We're back, baby. What's going on? Welcome back. 609-910-0687. Give us a call. Let's talk. Let's chat.
What's up, Shane? Thanks for watching.
Shane, in Italy, you owe me a 3-foot can of red can. Goodness. That's right. In Italy, they have 3-foot cans of Pringles. I want one. Get me one.
Why didn't you just buy 3 cans?
No, I want the actual 3-foot can.
Like, what is he going to do with 3 feet worth of Pringles?
Overcompensate for something?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
No problem.
Wow.
Hey, Rose, how you doing, Rose?
Oh.
Undercompensate for something.
Oh.
How about that?
Bye, Rose. Oh.
Anyway. NXT. So we had NXT, the Wednesday Night War, as it's being called. NXT started off with actually a nice hot match. I'm gonna say hot because I think it was like fire. With Leo Rush versus Drew Gulak for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. All right. Tristen, thoughts on this match?
They being NXT started off with a strong match between Leo Rush and Drew Gulak for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that Drew Gulak is no longer on NXT going forward. However, 205 Live is still appearing Friday nights 10 p.m. on the WWE Network. I think the match was really good. I do feel like Drew Gulak passed the torch.
He did.
On over to Leo Rush. And for those of you who don't know how to spell Leo Rush, it's L-I-T. It's L-I-T.
L-I-T.
Yeah. Oh. If you watched NXT last night, you would know that.
You would understand that.
But I think that was a good way to start off NXT compared to the match that they were putting on. They being AEW. I didn't watch it live at the same time.
Okay,
I watched
obviously.
NXT.
Obviously.
I tried that last week, Dave, and I didn't have the mental capacity to do that.
I believe you did not have the mental
I don't
capacity.
understand how football people sit there and football is fake sports. So I don't understand how they sit
real.
there and they watch all these football games at one time. Like, what do you focus on?
They're focusing on their phones for their fantasy draft and their nachos.
Bingo.
Because for me, I was trying to play Homescapes on my phone and watch
I've been thinking about
AEW.
downloading that.
It's a good game. I'm up to like level 669.
I'm playing Call of Duty on my phone.
I got a new phone and all my games didn't transfer over.
Hold on. Brian, why don't you play a more adult game like Homescapes?
Yeah.
I play Pokemon Go.
Or Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery.
Okay, so moving on. I think that, but NXT really did a good job starting off with that match. They told a traditional story.
Yes.
Compared to those four guys jumping in and out the ring. If I was switching back and forth, I would have wanted to see the Leo Rush match versus Drew Gulak.
It was a better match, but to me, it doesn't have the attention grabber that for me. It's that Young Bucks and Private Party have. Like, whoa, like which is the bigger match? And that's a tournament for something.
Yeah.
Like we're leading them to something. It was a weird counter to me. Like I almost think that if not that they had to, but if they did Dijakovic and Keith Lee, I'd rather watch that than Private Party and Young
Which
Bucks.
is the main event next week.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly.
That's what, like 5 or 6?
I'm a big Keith Lee mark
Maybe
too,
7.
so I'll start.
I like
there.
Keith Lee. You know why I like Keith Lee? He's not a body guy like me, but he's a body guy. Like we take our shirts off. We know we don't have abs, but we still look strong.
I got a 6-pack.
I love that you just nonchalantly put yourself in the sentence with Keith Lee like it's nothing.
It's nothing.
Nothing.
Why?
Body wise,
I mean, body wise, he's bigger than me.
He's a big boy.
I'm not talking about like this. Yeah, I'm not talking about like definition. I'm just talking about size. Like, dude, that guy is gigantic.
Yeah,
You're nowhere near his league.
No, he's like Keith Lee, and I'm like baby Keith Lee.
Oh,
Okay.
so fun size. You're fun size.
That's right.
Fun size Keith.
I'm the
I'm
fun
wearing
size.
this shirt for the next 3 weeks.
I hope you wash it, you nasty bastard.
I will wash it. Of course I will, please. But now this is just a question I'm just going to ask Dave and Tristan, and I want to hear your reactions. I want to hear the Ramblers' reaction. Call in 609-910-0687. This is a question that I've thought about myself. Is AEW and NXT going to put on matches comparative to what the other show was putting on? So, for example, last week we had what was the first match for NXT? That was
the first match was
match.
the
No, wait,
yes, no. The first match was the match for the NXT Championship.
okay. So that was the Adam Cole match. No, that was the North American match. So it was Velveteen and Roderick Strong.
No, the opening match last week.
I'm getting all the weeks confused since NXT has moved to USA. Because the women's match was the first match. Period.
Oh no, last week was the first women's match.
No.
Anyway, what's your point?
So my point is, as us as wrestling fans and us as wrestling, I'm gonna call us journalists because we do a show. Do we think we're gonna be comparing both shows depending on their segment every single week?
I don't see how you can.
I know, but is it going to be set up that way where, for example, Jericho's shoot promo versus Velveteen's promo with Roderick Strong's small penis, the cross out thing? Are we going to be something where we're going to compare that from week to week, or are we just going to just focus on the product separately? That's just something I thought in my head.
Yeah, it's a valid point. That's a great question. Like, and if anything, there's a question of should we just gauge them as in and of themselves? But I don't think you can. It's the same thing with Space Race. There's no way you could say, let's just judge America for their space program by himself. Forget that the cosmonauts been up there first.
Yeah.
Forget about Sputnik. Just look at America's space program. It's not going to happen.
Because the way you gotta look at it, Brian and Dave, is that if you don't have anybody else to measure against, then you're number one.
Right.
So if you have somebody to measure against, so you can say, you know what, you're number two. And I do want to say, I think I said this last week, there's already gentlemen-like of the WWE to go ahead and send out that press release.
Yeah, I agree.
To AEW to say, hey, you know what, congratulations, welcome to the game.
Yep.
The first week was won by you guys. Hey, you know what, that's the only time we're acknowledging and we're going to move forward.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
And you know what, to back up your point, Tristan, I do think you are a big, steaming number two.
You waited all night to say that.
Well, I said it plenty times in my head.
Oh, did you?
Are you sure?
Okay, well.
You know what, Dave?
Yeah.
You just made the list!
There you go. You're on the list now. Fix your face. It might get stuck like that. How you going to explain doing Thanksgiving? Hey, what's wrong with your face,
What's
Dave?
wrong with Dave's face?
I saw Tristan Law and I was stunned to look like this forever. And they're like, oh, I get it. He sucks. But yeah, I think you have to compare the two shows against each
Okay,
other. I
so
think as long as they're going on against each other the same night, I think they're going to.
okay.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't on the same night. People compared them anyway. I think there would be a good chance that people.
Because everything I've been reading, and this is just me just shooting right now. Everything because I have a freaking schedule, but this came to my head and I figured we might as well shoot this now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I've been reading in the last 2 weeks is comparing AEW and NXT, comparing AEW, comparing the product. Like, it's pro wrestling.
Yeah.
It's inevitably there's going to be competition, and WWE hasn't had really much competition since early 2000s because Impact was a joke. When it's
even being generous, I think it's longer than that.
Yeah, so it's the way the way it is right now is we're just going to be comparing, and
Right.
I don't know if it's going to be like so if AEW dips and then NXT is going to be bigger. So it's as much as people don't say it's a war, it's a freaking war. Period.
I mean, I definitely think it is, and it's like I think people also need to just accept that it is, and forget about them trying to pretend that it's not, because yeah, of course it is. And I think you're right. Maybe it's not fair to judge them against each other, but
yeah.
I just don't see I don't see how you can.
But you know what though? I was one of the ones that were saying that AEW and NXT wasn't AEW and WWE were not in any competition with each other. They were looking for a different demographic.
Yeah.
However, between AEW and NXT, they're looking for the same demographic. So if you ask me, that's a war. That's a fight.
Yeah, and
that's like putting two brothers against each other, trying to figure out which one you like the most.
It's like putting Tristan Law up against Mike Law.
Or not to get political, it's like when USA, the country, says we're not at war with a specific country. We're just on a war on terrorism. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like they might publicly say we're not at war with each other, but of course they are. It's just plain and simple. And I agree with you completely that NXT and AEW are. They're more similar in terms of their demographic. Their audiences are more similar. So yeah, you have to compare the two.
Right.
All right. You then had Rhea Ripley versus Aaliyah, which was a strong match for Rhea, and making her statement saying that she should challenge. Oh my God.
Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler, thank you for the NXT championship. So, I agree. I think Rhea should be the next one to fight Shayna for the title and actually take the title off of her. But that's me.
If she doesn't, I don't know who's left to do it.
Exactly. There's no other person that can freaking do it.
I thought Candice LeRae was going to do it.
I thought too, but lo and behold.
But you did get Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair did come out and call for it.
Yeah,
I love Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Like, I just like when she comes out and she's twisting her hair and she's just bouncing and just bopping. I'm like, yeah, that's my girl.
Did she have a red cup with her?
No. Why does she need a red cup? That's not her gimmick.
I know, but still. Support her hubby.
The gimmick is great. The presentation is great. I feel like the match was in a weird position for who was going to go over. You know what I mean? Like
which match was this?
Her match.
Bianca
Belair and Dakota Kai.
Okay.
And because Dakota's just coming back. She could use a little more momentum, I think, Dakota. But at the same hand, Bianca needs a little more momentum, too. So I thought it was weird you put them together, because I kind of felt that was a no-win situation. I think the match was good. I think they came off looking strong. I don't think anyone was too badly damaged. But I just thought it was weird that you put two people who need uphill momentum against each other. That was an odd choice.
And that kind of crushed Dakota Kai's little uprising that she had.
Right. It's not bad. I'm just saying I think it was an odd decision.
But then again, somebody has to lose, and going back to the match with Aaliyah and Rhea Ripley, Aaliyah is pretty much like enhancement talent.
Yeah.
She's signed, she's contracted a enhancement talent, and you know what? Again, somebody has to lose. That's a good job for her. If she can feed her family and buy all the nice things that she wants to make a name for herself like that, then you know what? Then you do it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Why not get an enhancement talent for either Bianca or Dakota for Wednesday? They did have Carissa.
I can't remember her last name. She goes to Damian Adams' school.
Yeah.
She was down there in Florida, from what I understand, from what Damian put on Instagram. So,
I'm just saying, why put them together?
True.
It just seemed like an odd choice.
Or they could, put somebody underneath the hood. It doesn't have to be anybody. It could be Executioner #1. Somebody. Put somebody
you know what? I would love if there was like a women's Brooklyn brawler.
Yeah, her name is Aaliyah.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I meant. But like a true or a men's too, like a filth grind gimmick where this person's only here for this. Like, Brooklyn Brawler, even if you were a child and never saw wrestling before, when you see that guy, you're like, well, there's no chance that dude's winning. Like, Brooklyn Brawler, like, okay, I got it. That guy's losing. So I want that. A career jobber.
Mm-hmm. Well, Aaliyah's from Canada, so I don't know what you'd call her. Maybe
the Canadian Canuck?
Or, the... I don't know.
Rambler 609-910-0687. Give us names for her.
It's also hard because I've noticed. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but it seems like all women, or like the majority of female wrestlers right now, have like porn names. Has anyone noticed that?
No, go ahead.
No.
Support your statement.
Dakota Kai. You're telling me that's not a porn name?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead. Give us
Either you guys don't watch enough porn, or I watch too much.
You watch too much.
Hold on.
There's a good chance.
You know what? I'm trying to help Dave out here.
And
Dave, go with another name.
Go with another name.
Kairi Sane doesn't sound porny to you?
No. All right, give one more try.
I can't believe Dakota Kai. That's the first.
Okay, no. Okay, moving on.
Candice LeRae, Tony Storm.
Okay, Tony Storm. I can see that.
I could see that.
I can see Tony Storm.
I could see that.
Candice LeRae.
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
Even though she tagged with Joey Ryan? No.
It's just the name. I'm not talking about them as people.
I understand that, but the name does
sound. Dakota Kai sounds like a porn name to me. For sure. Tony Storm for sure. Candice LeRae for sure. Kairi Sane sounds like
I think you're into a lot of freaky.
Yeah, you're into a lot of freaky.
Yeah, you're a little freaky. And that's okay. That's how you get down. That's what brought you to
and Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks is a porn name.
Banks is not a porn last name for a girl.
No.
Okay.
Like if her name was like Sasha, Sperm Banks, then yes, that'd be a porn name.
That would be the title for a feature.
Goodbye.
I have to mute you. I'm sorry.
Why'd you mute him?
I apologize. This is supposed to be a family. No, it's not. It's not a family show. Absolutely not.
Yeah, since when?
Yeah, since never.
Since last week. You missed it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we changed. We got paid.
PG era.
Yeah, PG era down. Roderick Strong versus Swerve. Thoughts? Match. It was a good match.
Nothing to write home about.
No, nothing. It just kind of showcased the Irish, Mr. Swerve a little bit better than what he had. I don't think he's been used much lately in NXT, so I think this is the first time I've actually seen him.
The last time I saw Swerve was in Toronto when they had that NXT breakout tournament. Yeah, he was good. I liked him.
Yeah,
I liked him, but I mean, against Roderick Strong, you knew he was just going to be an enhancement talent.
Yeah,
he didn't. I don't think he got that same run that he being Swerve. He didn't get that same run that what's his name? The guy that I like from WWE, the one that's wrestled the King.
That guy.
The one that wrestled the King. Baron Corbin. Who's the guy that wrestled Baron Corbin?
Chad Gable?
Chad
Gable. He didn't get the Chad Gable. He didn't get the Kofi treatment. He didn't get the...
I don't think he was supposed to, though.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah. But you did have a little segment. You had a little promo from Velveteen Dream. And you can tell the differences in the promos on AEW and NXT.
It's only going to get worse.
I know it's only getting worse. I just... How many people in this room were uncomfortable when they put the picture up of Roderick Strong half naked?
You don't know the question yet. Put your hand down.
Put your hand down. Wow.
You're going to ask who was aroused, right?
No.
Oh, not who's aroused.
Wow.
So Candice LeRae.
Wow.
All right, go ahead. Try again.
Yes.
So, how many people were uncomfortable? So, Velveteen puts a picture up of Roderick Strong doing a Shawn Michaels with the belt, where he's basically he's naked just with the belt covering his naughty bits, and then he takes the belt off, and it just has like a canceled symbol over where the naughty bits would be. How many people in this room, and Ramblers, I want to let me know too, were uncomfortable when they saw that?
Me, I was uncomfortable.
I was heavily fucking uncomfortable with that.
Why were you uncomfortable? You never seen penis before?
No.
Not one with a red slash over it.
Well, I mean, the question I wanted to ask myself was, why was it all containing that red slash?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I mean, I didn't ask myself that, but I'm asking myself that now.
You were okay with it.
I mean, I didn't care. It's not, it's penis. I have a penis. The penis is not in my face. The penis is on the TV, so I'm not uncomfortable by penis.
You a freak.
Yeah,
no, but I'm not.
That's right. You're projecting onto me. Meanwhile,
you are because
you were the one that said you got aroused.
You did. Because I'm not.
I also said I was uncomfortable.
But
so one of those things is a lie.
Yeah, you were aroused.
But I'm not. I didn't feel uncomfortable by it in a way. I understand that was in a form of entertainment. Sometimes you might watch a movie. And I watched Hustlers. at the movie theater, because you guys, in case you don't know, I go to the movies like every week. I saw Joker last week. Go see it if you haven't seen it yet.
I'm going to see it this weekend.
But I saw in Hustlers there was man penis. Like,
I
the
know.
penis was out.
I know.
It was like, hello, Dick. Hey, how you doing, Richard?
That was the same thing with freaking Boogie Nights.
It has nothing to do with the sight unseen. It has to do with the whole idea that this, in the context, doesn't belong.
Yeah.
In adult film, I'm aware that I'm going to see, as Brian put it, naughty bits. But in this, it's an odd thing to do, wouldn't you say? Like in professional wrestling, in NXT, in a WWE PG era kind of thing.
No, because Velveteen's gimmick is that he's overly sexualized.
Yeah, that's true.
But this is a new level.
Velveteen.
I get it. But it's a new level. Like if this was in the Attitude Era, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. But in NXT today, it seemed odd.
It didn't seem odd to me. That was the sports.
Yeah, I'm not like
that was the entertainment of the sports.
Yeah.
It's like if Goldust did this in 1998, I would say, okay, wow, he's toning it down, But today, I don't know. It was surprising to me. It just caught me off guard. It's all in context.
Okay. So and then you had Ciampa, who came back. I'm very happy he came back very quickly. Happy that he's back in ring. He's ready to go. Fighting shape. Grabs a chair, sits in the ring, and says, "Goldie, Daddy's home."
I stand corrected. That was the part that got me aroused.
Well,
wow.
Speaking about arousal, going back to the porn names, Rose Schmidt, wife of Brian Schmidt.
Jesus Christ.
She says that she does agree that the names that you were rambling off, Dave,
Why are you
sound
supporting
like porn
Dave?
names.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you.
Really?
And Joe is right. Also, Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke? Does Dana Brooke sound like a proud name?
Joe thinks so.
Oh, Dana's Brooke. Maybe. I don't think so much though.
Yeah, but we're not. Yeah.
Hey, look. Thank you, Rose. Thank you. See, it's not just me. All right.
Anyway, so Ciampa's basically eyeing for the title again, which I'm happy he gets his title back when he wins it back from. He's getting it back from Adam Cole. If there's no if here.
How do you know?
Because I know.
I don't know about that.
I called the freaking. So you missed it. Bray Wyatt. There was a rumor that Bray Wyatt was going to be the Fiend. Was going to be in a Hell in a Cell. What's that? It was about how many weeks ago I made that prediction?
Actually, yeah, you can see that video on our YouTube channel. Just go to RoyalRambleRadio.com and go check out our YouTube channel. There's a clip there for it.
And I called it.
I'm not saying he won't get it. It's just I don't think it's a guarantee.
Yeah. So Brian took that from rumor and innuendo and ran with the rumor and innuendo. So
and I was right.
Brian is like
I was right.
Brian is like 1 for 1,000.
The reason
1 for 1,000.
Yes.
I'm 2 for 10. I keep track.
What was the second
20%
one?
of the time works every time.
What was the second one that you were right about?
I don't remember.
Okay,
it's written down in Studio A.
He's due. He's due, like the Washington Generals. He's due.
Okay. No, they're the Bullets, not the Generals.
No, the Generals are the guys who go against the home Globetrotters and are booked to lose all the time. Anyway.
And they call this fake sports.
The only reason I don't. No, I acknowledge that's fake too. The reason I don't think that's a guarantee is only because, and like I love the segment, and I also want to say I am glad that he's back because he was the most recent true heel on the mainstream scene until now he's face and MJF took over. But I don't ever want to forget about that. But the reason is they finally built up this payoff of Undisputed Era having all the belts.
Yep.
It took them forever to get there. They teased it and they came close, but now they're finally there. You think they're going to take it away off of the top dog first, right away after they just finally got all the belts? Seems a little too soon for me.
Okay, I'll say, but I didn't say when Ciampa would get it.
But you also have what's his name, Finn Balor in that same story.
Yeah,
as well,
Finn Balor's in that same story.
I don't think Finn Balor's getting it either.
So in the next NXT Takeover, which should be next month, November,
Survivor Series, yeah,
we can get a 3-way.
Giggity.
What? There's nothing wrong with 3-ways.
With Dakota Kai and
wow, you guys are freak leaks today. Wow, and I'm good for once in my life.
For once, yeah. So I'm just saying, I think it's a little too soon, but I did like the Ciampa segment. He's proven as good as he didn't get any ring rust does not affect your mic work whatsoever.
No,
he's proven that.
No.
And I like the transition from heel, super heel, to face, and he's every bit as good. And yeah, nothing has affected him.
He did an interview in the back. Charlie, was that Charlie or I forget what it's whoever does the WWE now. She's asking a question, and then one of the I don't even know, some random jobber just starts talking to him in Spanish, and she's like, "What did he just say?" Because he cold cocked him. He's like, "I don't know," and just walks past her. Yeah, I forget who that wrestler was. But besides that, anything else notable from NXT?
No, but if you're asking me which show I appreciated the most, last week I definitely appreciated NXT more.
Okay, this week?
This week I appreciated NXT. I'm sorry, I appreciated AEW more.
Okay.
And I watched NXT live.
Okay.
And mind you, last week, my attention span was split between two shows and Homescapes.
Yeah.
Which you should download, Dave. But
we're not getting paid by Homescape. Stop bringing that up.
Yes.
My attention was split into three, and this week it was only with one, and I thoroughly enjoyed AEW better. I think that the Chris Jericho thing that they did was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the main event was cool. I definitely liked, I liked a lot of what I saw.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Tristen. AEW took me. AEW's 2-0 for me right now. So.
Yeah, it's real close for me, but it's really what I'm marking out for is because AEW still wasn't a flawless show, and I don't think anyone's saying that it is, but because of how much they improved from last week, that it got me. I'm like, okay, good, they're stepping up their game. I'm very glad to see that. They want to earn. They're not slacking off just because they took the win. Good. And NXT, it was lacking certain wow factors for me. It's like, okay, great, Lio Rush. Look, I got no problem with Lio Rush, but I don't care about the cruiserweight title. I'm sorry, I don't.
They're not going to bring back the validity of that title.
Right, and so
back
it's like
now.
There was that lack of a real. The matches were good, but there was a lack of that awe factor in NXT for me. There wasn't a definitive like, wow, like Walter and Kushida.
Yeah,
I'm not a Walter guy. Okay, I said it. All right.
Yeah, no one thought Kushida was going to put up a fight, but he did.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that match.
Yeah,
I wasn't either.
I like the basis around Kushida's gimmick. I feel that he could do so much more with the WrestleMania entrance. I said that on Twitter.
Yes.
After the entrance.
Yeah, if he had a WrestleMania entrance.
I think Kushida would be great. Like if Doc Brown dropped him off in the DeLorean.
Literally, you get Christopher Lloyd to drop him off.
Right.
That'd be great.
Or he'd come out like, "Great Scott, I can't find the DeLorean. Kushida, where are you?" And then he does the whole thing, and then he comes through, and you see the fire in the tracks and everything like that, and they play the music, and then all of a sudden the door opens and the Kushida music's hit.
And on the old ramp, when it was the video screen ramp, like they could actually put a hoverboard on
right.
it, or the flame trails.
Yes, as he's walking down, that'd be pretty badass. But my whole thing too, though, is that somebody was saying to me on Twitter, and you can always follow me on Twitter at @TheRealBigTrist. They were saying that he's done it. He, being Kushida, has done that before in New Japan,
sure.
And he did something like that at Wrestle Kingdom. But for me,
doesn't mean I don't want it again.
Right,
yeah,
my inner Back to the Future, mark. Because I'm a huge Back to the Future mark.
Are you? Because you thought they were Russian and not Libyan.
Well, I'm still a huge Back to the Future mark, all right? Like, you're a huge mark, and there's still stuff you don't know about wrestling. Yeah. Point proven. So anyway, I'm a huge Back to the Future mark, and that at Wrestle Kingdom didn't satisfy my inner BTTF.
How many gigawatts is it?
1.21.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Question. Yeah.
What time did he first time travel?
Oh, fuck.
1:21 a.m.
What was the date?
Was it October 12th?
Was it?
Wait, the date that he goes back.
No, October 20th, wasn't it?
What's the date that he goes back to?
Yeah, what's the date he goes back to?
I don't know.
November 12th.
Yep.
Wow.
November 12th.
Good for you. Hope you feel good.
I thought you were a Back to the Future mark.
I am. I haven't watched it in a while. Fine, I'm going to go home and watch all 3 movies again.
All right, you know what?
What?
I'm going to have some questions for you next week.
Oh, we're not doing trivia.
Oh, we're doing trivia. You want to call yourself a...
All my favorite movies are like 80s movies.
Don't worry, nobody's going to watch next week because Brian's going to do trivia.
Yeah. Thanks.
We'll have to do that as a sideshow.
Yeah, we'll do that as a sideshow.
How about we could do that when we go to the Castle of White?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. All right.
It's Brian. That's my friend.
Yeah, I'm your friend. All right, we're going to take a 15-second break.
Oh, you're pushing it.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to take 15 seconds just to reset, and we will be right back. So hang out for 2 seconds while I find the thing.
I thought 15.
Shush. You're listening to Royal Ramble Radio, live Thursday nights between 7
that was your favorite movie of all time.
9 p.m. on RoyalRambleRadio.com. Okay, so obviously the main thing that everyone's been waiting for is our thoughts on Hell in a Cell.
You know what's so funny? So we put up a poll, Brian.
I voted for that poll immediately.
About who the Ramblers thought would be more upset over the over the pay-per-view. So it goes, our Facebook, our social media person put, after the WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, whichever hosts are more upset. Vote now and watch this Thursday night from 7 to 9 Eastern to see who's really upset. Leave your comments below. So, hey, if you voted,
thank you.
Welcome. So, let me tell you how it went.
Okay. How many people voted?
24 people voted.
I'm one of them, so count 23.
17.
Why would you do it if you knew you were just going to deduct yourself?
Because I'm just saying, when social media puts up the polls, I do it anyway.
Well, you should.
Anyway, continue.
So 17% of the people thought that I was more upset about the whole entire Hell in a Cell.
Okay.
And 83% of whopping 83% thought that Brian would be upset about it.
No, because we did post something after the freaking event. I did kind of go live. We tried to go live for like 2 or 3 seconds. I tried to pull you on, and it was just But
the answer is, who is more upset?
Hi, my name is Brian P. Schmidt, host of Royal Ramble Radio. How are you, Mr. David Lee?
Good. How are you?
So Brian, so you think that the entire Hell in a Cell 2019 was shit?
No, I don't think the whole.
That's what you voted. That's what everybody voted for.
I thought it would. Okay, so there were certain parts that were shit. The first 2 matches of the event were not shit. Okay?
Okay.
They were not shit. An overall pay-per-view, it gets a freaking D from my book.
Nah.
The first 2 matches don't save it.
I wouldn't do that.
Really?
No. Why is that?
You tell me why. Tell me. Why?
Let me get the 2019 Hell in a Cell. So I can look to see.
I agree with you, Brian, that with the Becky and Sasha match was absolutely outstanding.
Yes, that was probably
match of the night.
Match of the night, easily right there, just from the get-go.
Randy Orton Ali was good, but it wasn't a pay-per-view match.
No, it wasn't. I could have watched that on SmackDown. I've been
that's
happy.
like a good SmackDown match.
I think that match was very ingenuitive
It was
when
good.
it comes to the RKO. Like you thought, oh man, Randy's not going to hit the finish. Oh yeah, he hit the finish.
Oh, he hit the finish, but Ali had a counter for the first RKO, which was cool.
It was great. I love that spot. I really liked it, but without proper build-up or without pay-per-view feel, it's kind of hard to,
get behind it.
Yeah, and it's like I love the match. It's a very good match, but it's not going to save the pay-per-view.
Did you hear what I said too? The first 2 matches were the best matches of the night.
So you're talking about Roman Reigns?
Yes,
and Daniel Bryan?
I said the Roman Reigns Daniel Bryan match was probably the best match of the night as well.
That I don't agree.
For me, that match was okay. You know why? Because I don't have any emotional investment into the story. And the reason why I'm saying
into the Romans and freaking Daniel match, I didn't even go for an emotional investment. I went for the pure wrestling of that match. Okay,
so I couldn't pay attention to the wrestling because I didn't care about the match because I had zero emotional investment due to the story.
Okay.
If somebody is trying to kill me, okay, I am not going to have a wrestling match with you. Like we need to fight. Like you don't need a tag team partner. We don't need to do this in a ring. Like, yo, bro, you tell me where to meet you, and I'm gonna meet you, and we just gonna throw hands. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, because you try to wipe me off this earth. We're not gonna have a wrestling match. And I felt like the way that if Roman Reigns is supposed to be, if Roman Reigns is supposed to be this big dog, as he calls himself, right? This is his yard. This guy tried to take you out of your yard, and you did nothing to even try to.
Well, he did stuff to Buddy Murphy.
You got it.
Right, you beat Buddy Murphy.
You beat the shit out of Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy took more of an ass whipping than Eric Rowan did for
trying
Buddy
can actually fucking take it.
Someone tries to kill you. What are you gonna do? Call your vegan buddy?
Yeah, right.
It does sound weird when you put it in that context.
Well, he's be gone now.
He was, right. He got some sense.
You also got Kabuki Warriors and
Green Mist. Oh,
I love that part.
I love that.
I love that.
I love that part.
But remember, Brian said there was only 2 good matches.
Listen,
going,
no. He said that part, and I'm the winner. I like parts of the matches.
Parts of the match were good. The Green Mist.
I didn't like the Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns match. I'll put it there.
I didn't like that either.
Okay, that's fine.
You
guys are entitled to your stupid opinions.
I didn't put it to the extent that you did, but I agree with that extent. But I do agree that it was no. I'm not invested in the storyline. They done screw the pooch on it, and it's like I don't care anymore. And I'm trying. I really took away. I liked that Daniel Bryan was like the ending where they were shaking hands and the hugging thing. Like I thought that was a good way to get Roman over and work.
I think that was a way to get Daniel Bryan over.
That too.
Yeah.
But not that Daniel Bryan needs help getting over.
Well, Daniel Bryan. But Daniel Bryan was only a heel a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, but he's Daniel Bryan for life.
Okay.
But the Randy Orton part would be my second favorite match. I just thought it was on the wrong show. But going back to what you were saying about the Sky Pirates and all that, I didn't like the match. I just liked
The
and
green
same
mist.
Thing, yeah, same thing.
The
Brian's
green
saying.
mist.
I just like the green mist, and I laughed my ass off when Alexa went to Nikki going, "What happened to your face?" Like I don't know why that cracked me up.
So here's my question. Did we get the green mist too soon with Asuka? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Why? Back it up.
I would like to hear why Dave said no first.
Yeah, actually, let's hear point counterpoint.
Yeah, why did you say that? Why did you say that it was not too soon?
Well, number one, because I'm sorry to say this, but they needed something. That tag team needed something to revitalize them because they've been taking a stellar booking beating. It's like they needed something to show you that they are not just going to be the job squad that have been off TV for the majority of this year.
The reason why I think that it was too soon is that let's go back to Royal Rumble 2019.
Yeah.
There was a tag team match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yep.
Not tag team match, single match.
Women's Championship.
Between one Becky Lynch and the other being
Asuka.
And Asuka beat her that night.
Yep.
And they've never acknowledged that.
No, they haven't.
Until Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
So now
and SmackDown.
So they should have. I would have saved the mist I would have saved the mist for Becky.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I agree.
I wouldn't have used the mist on the tag. Now you threw away the mist. You gave the mist away.
You gave the mist away.
The mist is not special.
Yeah. You save it for those big time matches, singles match, and done.
I would have wanted to save for her, just for her.
Yep.
Because you know what, bitch, you beat me last time. Let me give you this green mist. Take that.
Well, yeah, no. So Asuka made Becky tap.
Yeah, Asuka made Becky tap.
Saying that you need to dig down deep to turn up green mist when you've already made her tap seems weird.
Right, but you know what? Becky Lynch and Asuka would go into another match, right? Becky Lynch is obviously a bigger star now than she was back then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? They go to the whole entire match where Becky's just about to win, and then Asuka pulls out the green mist.
Yep.
I mean, I hear you say, but here's the counterpoint to that is also in terms of storyline. Remember, this is their heel turn. How else are you going to do heel turn?
Right, they would have turned. They could have turned heel already. You don't need.
You don't need the green mist to turn heel.
What are they going to do? Subtly, especially on Alexa. I don't think a regular just sneaky underhanded attack was going to get them over as heels, especially against someone like Alexa Bliss. You need something big, and I think the Miz was it. You need something to go above and around to out heel Alexa Bliss. You're not.
Alexa's not even a heel now.
She gets cheered because she's beautiful and flawless.
Behave yourself, golly.
But
Jesus Christ,
nobody.
People,
but in terms
my
of
kids watching, how dare you, sir?
In terms of the women, name me someone who is better on that heel microphone than Alexa. I get that she's a face now, but it's the MJF principle. I don't care what your actions do or what your reactions are. You know how to work that microphone like a heel. Alexa is the women's heel in terms of the mic. If you want to throw in your girl, I'll respect that. I'll respect that.
Thank you.
But I think it's Alexa.
Woo.
Well, who do you got, Brian?
You know it.
Who's the best heel in women's division?
Honestly, in the women's division right now, in the current state, it's going to be freaking. It's got to be Alexa, just
That's what I'm saying.
Simple fun. But the fact is, she's going back from heel to face,
Yeah,
heel to
and
face,
she
heel
is.
to face.
She is.
Make a fucking decision.
I'm just saying, Asuka's not going to out heel her on the microphone.
No.
Language
she
barrier-
will.
the language
She
barrier
will, because
aside.
she's going to just speak Japanese,
I think
and that's all she needs to do.
I think that
I
they
don't
can.
think so.
I think
It's not
so.
working. It's not working.
That
It
is,
isn't working.
it's not working.
It's
It's working for Io Shirai, so you tell me it's not going to work for
You know
Asuka
why
and
they-
Kairi Sane.
You know why it didn't work on Monday Night Raw for me? Because they were too giddy when they were doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't serious. They weren't
Right.
talking about. I don't want to make fun of a Japanese accent, but they were doing, the Japanese that they
Well,
were doing.
they were a little bubbly, but at the end, Asuka was very was not bubbly.
But I don't think Kairi Sane can turn off bubbly. I think that's.
I don't think she can
I don't
either.
think she's capable of it. I think she just comes out happy and sparkles. So I think the Miz is a good way to do that. It's something that speaks, that is also feeding the Japanese gimmick too. Let's also be real about that. It's also backing that up.
Yeah.
So it's hitting the required notes that a regular heel move wouldn't do. Like a thumb to the eye ain't gonna cut it from Asuka.
Right, but you could have turned them heel other way. I mean, I guess they were already heel, or
I didn't think that read. I don't think it read that they were already heel. They were because if you look at the match, they were trying like heel-ish stuff, but then they were also doing some babyface stuff too.
But you could have told that whole entire story as well too, when they do the entire match, right?
Yep.
And then at the end, the Asuka and Kairi saying like, hey, you guys are good. Let's shake hands. They shake hands with a whole gimmick where they're standing up there with their hands together, and the Kabuki Warriors look at each other, and then punch the girls in the face.
I've never liked that, personally speaking.
But that would.
But then they're heel because
then
everybody's
they're heel.
No, but this is why I don't like it. I think if you're gonna have a heel turn belt exchange, you gotta have the heel cheat to win the belt.
I agree.
It's weird to have them win the belt and then cheat, or then rush them afterwards. That doesn't give you the same amount of heat if you cheated to take the titles away.
But they entered the match as babyface.
Yeah, they did.
So they need to leave as heels.
Yeah, but if they cheat, if they turn heel by cheating to win the belts, that gives them the maximum amount of heat.
So what if they did a quick cheat, and at the end of the match, the Kabuki Warriors went to still go do the shake hand gimmick, and then
they both do the green.
The other two ladies were like, okay, cool, no problem. We shake hands and whatever, and you go up, and then Kabuki Warriors turn on the both of those two ladies.
But see, doesn't that seem weird that it's like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross would know that they cheated to win the belts, and then they still want to shake hands? Why would they?
Because
it doesn't make any sense.
Because they're baby faces.
Yeah,
I don't
baby
know.
faces.
No, like even if you're Daniel Bryan babyface, old school Daniel Bryan babyface, and you get cheated on, like someone pulls your tights and takes away your belt. Even Daniel Bryan isn't a nice enough guy to say shake hands afterwards because I'm a babyface. Well, that don't make no sense to me.
I'm trying to work with your gimmick where you were saying that you didn't like the
idea.
I
know you're trying to.
So I'm just trying to work with your gimmick and work through it so that she can save the green mist.
I appreciate it. Well, Brian, where are you at on it?
I like it. I'm perfectly fine with the green mist coming out now, but there are other points too where it should have been saved. But at that time, there was no other way for the Kabuki Warriors to actually win the title.
Yeah.
They needed to do that. But Kairi Sane during the match was just freaking poking people's eyes, too.
Yeah, and that didn't read to the people. That's what I'm saying. Like
I caught those several times, but no one else caught those.
You're one people. There's 20,000 people sitting in the arena.
Yeah, and they were not booing it. They were kind of bland for it, and that's why
they were bland for the whole freaking pay-per-view after Becky and Sasha.
But the Miz popped them.
The Miz did pop them. Yeah,
that's why I think it was necessary because the thumb to the eye is not enough. It just isn't. Like it wasn't for them versus Alexa Bliss and Cross. And I will say, I will admit that I am very surprised at how much meat there is to this match. A lot more than I thought. Like I thought this was a who cares match, but apparently there's a lot of decisions. Yeah, a lot of personal philosophies of wrestling that get to come out when discussing this match, which I'm glad to see.
Anything else you think notable, Brian, on that pay-per-view?
Besides the debacle of that last match?
I mean, we'll go into that.
Oh, no, we're fucking going into that. No.
We don't want to talk about the fact there's a new SmackDown Women's Champion?
What?
Brian doesn't care either.
What?
He doesn't care about that.
Hold on.
What? There's a new SmackDown Women's Champion.
What? Saying Charlotte won the title is like
it's like saying I just took a shit in the other room.
The match wasn't a good match though. I'm not saying it was a match of the night, but I don't think it was a shit match.
I think they gave up on Bayley too quick, but they've also booked Bayley into oblivion like
they did.
So I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm not surprised that they took it away. The match was okay. I'm not as big of a Charlotte guy as you are, but
what? Moving on. Then.
Moving on. Let's
congratulations, Charlotte.
Yeah, congrats, Charlotte, for your 10th championship.
But so wait a minute. So Brian, you're saying that congratulations, she won 10 championships, but you don't mind that Ric Flair won all these championships, that Cena won all these championships, Triple H won all these championships.
Starting this shit already?
No, I'm asking.
No, it does matter that she's 10-time women's.
But the
champion.
way you said it was like, oh yeah, congratulations,
because I didn't have any emotional investment into the match. Yeah, I thought this was gonna be another freaking squash match where Bayley goes over.
It was a clear crap jump ship. Bayley's not working out.
Exactly, and this match was added on last minute too.
Let me tell you something.
Remember, at the beginning of Hell in a Cell, we had 4 matches booked.
Let me tell you something.
4.
If anybody in their right mind thinks that Bayley and Charlotte were going to end up in some kind of squash match, you need to get your head checked.
The way they've been booking Bayley.
It doesn't matter. Well, you can book somebody in a squash match, but
he's saying that he thought that Bayley was going to get a squash to retain the title.
But not on Charlotte.
No,
never.
He didn't say Charlotte.
But Charlotte's who she worked.
Well, yeah, but we didn't know that going into it.
We didn't know that
because 24 hours before the pay-per-view there were 3.
I don't think that's what Brian was saying.
I think that's what I heard. That's what I heard you saying.
If that's how you entertained it, that's how you entertained it.
Wait, who was right? Me? Wait.
You guys are grown-ass men. You can make your own opinion.
No, what did you think?
I honestly think that Bailey was going to win over Charlotte.
Hands
down. That's what I thought.
So in his right mind, Dave, he thought that Bailey was going to walk in there and
squash Bailey
Charlotte.
would squash
Charlotte. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
that's not what I thought at all.
No way.
I thought she was going to get like a layup match against somebody.
Or, expose another turnbuckle and win the match that way.
Doesn't matter. Win's a win.
Yeah, I agree.
But she's not going to squash Charlotte.
That's not going to happen. Yeah.
If they book Charlotte Flair in a squash match against Bailey, Charlotte needs to say something.
Or Sasha interferes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was going to happen.
Did I say Sasha? I meant Bailey and Charlotte. If they book them in a squash match, man, it's something ain't right, man. I want to know who the hell Bailey pissed off.
But the final match.
Let's talk about this.
Which wasn't a WWE Championship match, and it's probably not going to be for.
No, it was a WWE Championship match.
No, I'm saying we're probably not going to see Brock on a pay-per-view for a while.
Oh yeah, Brock's never going to be on a pay-per-view until Survivor Series, where he's going to wrestle. Oh no, excuse me, no, he's going to be at Blood Money.
Oh right.
Here we go.
That's actually a cool name for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, you're welcome, WWE. Call it Blood Money instead of Crown Jewel. You're welcome. Anyway.
So the thing that happened.
Yeah, that thing that happened. Let's ask the Ramblers. 609-910-0689. I want to talk about this because
85%, yes.
85%. This is probably the worst. This match should have been better than it was, in my opinion. Number one.
That's true.
Okay, they should have not DQ'd. All right, so let's go through this match real quick.
Wasn't it technically ruled referee stoppage?
Let him go.
Okay,
let me.
I just want to
Dave, I'm going to mute you in a second. If you don't let me freaking rant.
I just want to crush your shit, and you blew the finish.
Good job.
Oh, let him go.
No. Good, great job there, Dave.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Prematurely, ruining everything.
They DQ'd him. Go ahead.
So, the Fiend is taking these hits. He took the kendo sticks. He took the stomps. He took all of these hits, and it didn't really faze him at all. Now, all of a sudden, he gets shit piled on top of him, and Seth is looking for another answer to put him down, and grabs what his mentor used to bring out all the time in the freaking Hell in a Cell, a goddamn sledgehammer with a toolbox. By the way, which the toolbox I thought was a funny thing. Funny, good. I like that. That was a nice little gimmick. But the ref DQ'd Seth because he used a sledgehammer? Are you fucking kidding me? The man who basically runs NXT built his career on a fucking sledgehammer. I don't get it. I don't understand this. I honestly don't, and I apologize for curse because I usually don't curse, but that was a fucking shit ending, and it should have never happened, and I'm so happy it happened at the end of the show because they got booed. If that match started the show, the crowd would have taken over. Period. The Bailey-Sasha match wouldn't have gotten well received. The tag team match wouldn't get well received. The Kabuki Warriors, the whole thing would have been taken over. They placed the match correctly in what they had, but they also did it for one reason only, to end it that way, so Bray doesn't look weak. Meaning Bray still looks strong in the way he is. Because he got off the freaking stretcher and mandible clawed Seth, and blood came out.
So that match ended in a DQ, Brian?
It ended in a DQ, and a no disqualification.
So if that match ended in a DQ, who won, who lost?
Seth won.
Okay, then so the Fiend is not strong. So that means the match did not end in a DQ. It was a ref stoppage.
It was a ref stoppage, yes.
So if they're trying to keep the Fiend strong and Bray Wyatt strong, you need a no finish. I think the issue was that they booked themselves into a corner.
They did.
And they needed a way out. Like I told you, like I said last episode of Royal Ramble Radio, they needed a way out. And I thought the way out,
that was not the way out.
The way out could have been Demon Finn Balor. They just needed a way out. And they could have done that. They could have flip-flopped the story and done it the other way because the referee, WWE has this new program called WWE The Bump. It's like a little morning show that they do, and they got a statement from referee Rod Zapata, who was the referee in that match.
I want to hear what this monkey said.
Why does he have to be a monkey, Brian?
Why does he?
He's a stupid monkey.
So he was in charge of the match, and he explained the stoppage of the match, which
why
obviously sparked an outrage. Brian, you can't wait till Christmas, man.
No, I can't wait. I want my presents now, bitch.
So he goes with Bray motionless and Seth
motionless. Anyway, continue.
You sure, Brian?
I'm gonna mute my mic.
Can I tell you what you're getting for Christmas?
What am I getting for Christmas?
Okay. With Bray motionless and Seth clearly doing whatever it was going to take to win the match, I had to think of the competitor's safety, and at that moment, I did what I thought was best. That's an exact quote from Rogers.
Okay, so here's my question: how many stomps did Bray take?
An exuberant amount of stomps.
Okay, how many kendo sticks did he take?
An undetermined amount of stomps.
Okay, how many chair shots did he take?
An undetermined amount.
How many freaking times did he get freaking hit with a ladder?
How about this? We're just gonna go through all the weapons you want to name in the match.
I'm gonna name them all the time. How many toolboxes did he get hit with?
One.
Okay. So you're gonna tell me he was worried about his health when he took all those bombs, and Bray got up from several of those stomps.
Ready, Brian?
I'm frustrated with the ending. I'm frustrated how they booked themselves into a corner. I'm frustrated with this nonsense that the ref just said no more. It's a no DQ match. You step into a Hell in a Cell, fucking Mankind got thrown off.
Brian, there's no DQ. Stop using the term DQ. There's no disqualification. Because if there's a disqualification, then
Joe, I don't care what Meltzer says.
Yeah, remember last year's finish. It was 2 years. It's 2 years we get a nonsense finish to it.
I just don't I don't understand. When you have the Fiend who's being built up as this supernatural force who's very angry, who wants to take the bumps, who can dish out all the pain, who's been doing that to Legends, who's been doing that to Seth for the last 3 weeks. Legends.
Yeah,
yes, he's been attacking Legends. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Go ahead, Brian. I'm loving this right now.
How are you going to book it like this where the ref says stop or stop someone from using a sledgehammer?
Here's my thing. If you had Bray Wyatt coming around and not Bray Wyatt, the Fiend has been causing havoc in the WWE since the day after WrestleMania. So now you're concerned about his health? How do you know you're not next?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I want to throw this to you, Brian.
Okay.
Because I love throwing things to Brian.
He does. He wants to piss me off even more.
How would you have done the finish in the match how would you have ended the match to as a way out so that both men ended up looking strong?
Double count out.
How do you want to count out? Brian, how you want to do a double count out?
Or somehow, I don't know. Hold on.
Okay, we'll go to Dave. How do you think?
Well, number one, I wouldn't have booked this match in the first place.
I agree.
Too soon.
No, I agree. No, the championship match should have not happened.
However, I did hear the rumor that they were going to put the belt on Bray, but Fox wants him, so therefore they can't make him the Raw champion if he's going to.
Oh,
that's what I don't know if that's true. It's just rumor and innuendo. However, so I'm just going to work with the pretext. Let's just say I booked this match. I now have the Fox $1 billion mandate on me. What do? I'd go old school Vader technique. I would have him win the match, but then he just keeps beating them, and the referee flops the decision and takes the belt away from him. That's how I would do it.
Okay. I don't like that.
I don't like it either, but to me, it's the only way out.
Because
it's the only way out.
You're still, like Bray, if you want to keep both men strong, in your scenario, only one man walks out strong.
I don't want to keep both men strong. That's my job.
Well, that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't think they succeeded.
No, they didn't.
I think Bray looked weak.
They did keep both people strong. I don't think Bray looked weak because Bray kept kicking out.
Strong-ish.
Brian, what you got?
No, I'm gonna say it should have been Bray won and then Bray continued to beat the shit. What Dave said, basically.
But again, you wouldn't get both people strong. If you wanted both people strong, you know what I would have done?
What?
I would have turned the tables. I would have had Seth Rollins been the one taking the ass whooping from the Fiend.
Yeah.
And the referee would have stopped the match because he's concerned with the health
of the Universal Champion
of Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
And
too.
At that point, both men would have walked out strong. Fiend would have walked out looking bigger than ever, and Seth Rollins would have been like, "Wow, you got your ass kicked, but like, damn, that was the Fiend."
I'll take that too. But I mean, my only issue with it is after last year's nonsense finish where Braun Strowman and then Brock runs in and they just stop the match and they raise the cell and everyone's like,
yeah,
what happened? 2 years in a row, you give me a denial of a real finish? That you can't do that. So that's why, like, my scenario is just at least there's a clear-cut winner. At least there is somebody won. The match didn't end on nonsense.
If they had done that match the other way around, the way that I'm going, where he would have, like, bashed his brains in.
So basically, Bray, the Fiend, beaten the ever-living piss out of Seth.
That's correct.
Okay, I would have been fine with that.
And just leaving him there, I think you could have ended it like that. People wouldn't have went home so angry. Because the next night on Monday Night Raw, you know how long it took for them to even mention that match? Your
second hour?
Yeah.
2 hours and 43 minutes into the show.
Yep.
Is when they decided to mention that there was a Universal Championship match at the pay-per-view the night before. I don't want to come off this topic real quick, but I think that WWE did a good job protecting the
Seth.
everything.
Yep.
The next night, because the night before, they sent the fans home angry.
They were pissed.
And you normally don't want to send the fans home angry with such of a shit finish. However, the next night, who would you normally expect to start Monday Night Raw?
The Universal Champion.
Right. Or who he fought, or who his next story is going to be. But they started off with Lana and Rusev and Bobby Lashley, all that.
So, counterpoint, they did something like this with Roman when he won the frickin' was the Royal Rumble that one year where everyone wanted Daniel Bryan to win?
Right.
And he still went out there and got the booze.
Took his lumps like a man.
That was different, though.
It is different.
It was different, totally different.
I hear his point, though.
Because Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns already had heat on him. The purpose was to keep the heat going.
Okay.
In the end
that makes sense.
In the end of that match, you know who had heat? The match, the Hell in a Cell?
Booking.
The ref.
The referee
had the most heat out of everyone.
And one of the things that I always tell new referees is that you don't ever want to have heat on yourself.
The heat's not supposed to go on them. It's supposed to go on the freaking heel.
The heat's supposed to go on the wrestlers, on the heel. The wrestler's supposed to always count to 3. You should never say to yourself, well, you know what? That was a 3 count, and, he only, or that was a 2 count, and he counted as a 3. Like, no, do your job properly. So you're not supposed to have heat on the wrestlers. I mean, on the referee.
No.
You're supposed to always have your heat on the wrestlers. That's where it belongs. Yep. The referee is only there to count 3. Granted, they play a very important part of the match. A lot of in-match, behind the scene. You got to pay a lot of money in wrestling school things to learn.
Yeah.
They're just more than counting 3, but they're not the story.
No, they're not.
They're a small part of that story. They're 2% of that story.
Now, if I may, I brought something up on my last live stream on Dave Knows Wrestling on YouTube, and it did not go over well, but I am curious to know your opinion. I said, what if the referee said he stopped the match and acknowledged on air that all the shots to the head with weapons in a post-Christopher Benoit world? Yeah, I couldn't do this.
No, you can't.
That's what everyone said. I said,
Stop.
bring this up as food for thought.
Stop.
But the idea of incorporating Benoit in a storyline.
Here's the problem, though.
And it's fine if you disagree. I was just saying, what do people think?
Heavily disagree because of this, because obviously Benoit had, injuries, but the problem was Benoit had a choice as well.
No, yeah, I understand.
He had a choice. The only people that didn't have freaking choices that night was his son and his wife, hands down.
Oh, no,
okay,
I'm not defending Benoit's actions. That's not what I'm saying.
There's been plenty of people who've taken bumps like that, taking shots to the head,
no.
that have not ended up like Benoit.
No, but my point is, ever since Benoit, they have had a mandate about chairs at the head shots. Like, that is a thing. And I'm just saying, what if WWE acknowledges that rule on air is all I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I think with the Rod Zapata, with that statement that he made that was read on WWE The Bump, that was their break glass in case of emergency. They were scrambling.
Yeah.
They didn't know. I think that I wouldn't know what to do. Like, damn, like, now you booked yourself into a corner, and you thought you were out that corner. Now you're standing in another corner on the opposite side of the room. Now, how the hell do you get out of that corner and get back into the middle of the room? Right. Like, shoot, golly. It's creative, and they still have more to go.
It's just after last year how mad everybody got with that finish. How did they not know what was going to happen?
Let me ask you this, Brian. How did they move on? How does the WWE move on from this?
You don't put them in another match. That's hands down. You don't do.
It's inevitable. They have to stand in front of each other again.
And it got leaked on their Twitter that it's being booked for Survivor Series, which there's no confirmation of it, so it's all rumor and innuendo right now. But
on whose Twitter?
I believe it was WWE's Twitter. Okay. I believe.
I
did see it on the dirt sheets that it's happening in Survivor Series.
I think they're throwing some spaghetti at the wall trying to see what sticks because they did the Cesaro Dark.
Let's not talk about that.
No, but I'm saying they're doing there's many different things going on with Bray right now because I think they're trying to see the path of least resistance. What is going to make it okay? And they're just going to go with it. Do you want to see him move on? Do you want to see him stick with Seth? Do you want to see him move Brock? I think they're trying anything just to see what will damage control this.
You know what I want? What? I want him to knock on fucking Aleister Black's door and fucking have that match right there. That's what I want.
So I'm asking you, Dave, how do you think that WWE should move on from this?
I mean, there's like in terms of, I don't want to say forget it, but it almost seems like that's the only route they can take is just pretend it didn't happen. Like I want to think there's a better solution, but I can't see what it is.
I think that they should forget it and never mention it again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want that to be. I can't think that there's a no-win situation, but I really think it isn't.
They should not
go the way of my broken gimmick.
You should not see. I mean, then again, you got both of these. You got Seth Rollins again and the Fiend on SmackDown. I would have kept. I'm sorry, you got Seth Rollins on SmackDown tomorrow night against Roman Reigns
for the first pick,
for the
right?
first pick between Raw and SmackDown. If you ask me, I would have just left. I would have left Roman Reigns off TV, pick somebody else, and then after the draft, put them on separate brands and just move on with your life.
Yep.
I just think it's their easiest route to get you to just think of Seth as something else. They're like, hey, let's stick him against Roman. Maybe, if people are mad at Seth, well, let's stick him against Roman. See how this works.
But you had to listen to the crowd as well, too.
Yeah.
That's worth a shot.
What was the crowd doing during that match?
They weren't like, they were just not like feeling it.
Well, they felt it.
You felt, yeah.
This is also a small detail in comparison to the ending, but I also wasn't a fan of the red light thing.
Me neither.
I thought, but I was okay with it. Live, from what I heard, it didn't look good, but TV, I did kind of enjoy it. But that's just me. I'm okay with that visual, but it should have not been like that.
I said it would have been cool if the lights started off normal, because they were normal in the Finn match. Like, they didn't have the red light gimmick for the Finn match.
No, they didn't.
But I thought it would have been cooler if it starts off normal, but then if Bray was going to win, goes closer towards the finish, then they slowly start getting redder and redder until he finally wins.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a cool, dumb thing to do, and it'd be telegraphing the wrestling's fake, but I'm like, if that's the way I would do it.
Wrestling's fake?
That's not. It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah.
It's people that are fake.
Damn right.
I'm just saying, moving on from this, it seems the only way that they can do it is just ignore it. I mean, but the Bray character, I think, is ruined.
I don't think it's ruined.
I don't think it's ruined.
I don't think anyone is ruined, but he's not. They are definitely in a reset scenario.
Yeah, I think don't get it wrong. I'm not saying that the finish was goofy. The finish was really goofy. If you think of it like this, all right, Ramblers. Here's the way that I'm thinking about it. Brian, Dave, here's what I'm thinking about it.
I'm listening.
How many curb stomps did it take to beat Brock Lesnar?
3?
It took a lot, right?
It took more than 3. It took more than 2.
But he obviously did more than it took on the Fiend to beat Brock Lesnar. So now you're trying to tell me that the Fiend couldn't beat Brock Lesnar with no issue. There's no way that the Fiend can stop Brock Lesnar. I mean, yeah, that Brock Lesnar can stop the Fiend. So how?
I don't know.
Unless he uses too many weapons and the referee stops the match.
Yeah, basically.
It took an exuberant amount of weapons and curb stomps.
But he stayed down. If he just kept getting up, it'd be one thing. But he stayed down for a very long time.
Right, and he still kicked out. And he still walked away from the thing on his own power.
I get it, but he was incapacitated for too long.
Let me tell you, I don't have SmackDown 2020, but Bray Wyatt, his energy level better be like at 101. There better be nobody that can beat him. Like, he should just show up. Like, it should be the whole game where Bray Wyatt's entrance comes out, and then the other person comes out and sees Bray Wyatt and turn around in the entrance and just walks away. Because it's 101. You're not just, just hit the reset button in your game.
Yeah.
I almost wish that Bray just took out the ref and they didn't know what to do. Like, I mean, really just kept gnawing, wiping out everything in the ring, Seth and ref included. Send a new ref, that guy too. And then eventually they just stopped the match because they're like, what do you want from us to do?
That could have been a way out.
We could have done that. I would have taken that too.
That could have been a way out.
I would have taken that
over. Like, it's just total carnage. Like, Seth Rollins is just getting mangled by him. Other wrestlers are coming out to help. Maybe you have Jerry the King Lawler comes out. He takes the gimmick. You have I don't know, who else was it?
Anyone
who's been attacked by the Fiend. Yeah,
and they get eaten. But let me ask you this: with the whole thing, because you don't think he's completely ruined, and I can all right, but where do you go from here? Because the problem with the characters like this, like the Undertaker, these not normal mortal men kind of characters. Where's their motivation? Are they pissed that they got screwed out of the title? That seems like an odd segment. What's his mindset? Like, what is going to happen from here? Because if it just turns into, well, he's going to attack random people and he doesn't really care what he's fighting for, that does diminish the title a little bit. And also, then it's going to get boring because it's just going to be a Freak of the Month scenario for Bray. And you're like, okay, great. So this week he's going to attack random whatever. So where do you go from here? So if you don't think he's ruined, what's the next step for Bray?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
We don't know, and he didn't really make a statement on live TV. It was after the match. No,
keep him away from TV. Keep him far away from TV. Hey, Bray, brother, I appreciate everything you did, but go ahead and hang out at home for the night. Go see your baby.
But he didn't stay at home at night.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there. He attacked Cesaro.
I am very curious to know what they're going to do with
it. The point I was trying to prove
earlier
was that if you listen to the fans didn't totally shit on the whole thing. They shitted on the finish.
The finish, not the whole match itself.
But what did the fans do for Bray Wyatt during the match? We're trying to make radio here.
I'm trying to
what's
think.
The question?
Hold on.
What did the fans do for Bray Wyatt? Like, what was their reaction to Bray Wyatt?
Well, in the beginning when he came out, they were hot.
And then during the match, how were they for Bray Wyatt?
You mean cheering for him?
They cheered for Bray
Wyatt
Wyatt.
To get up.
They cheered for Bray Wyatt. So, I think the problem is that the fans have probably gotten a little bit too much the WWE Universe, and I don't think they call them that anymore. I haven't heard that used in a couple of weeks.
They did.
Okay, so the WWE Universe has gotten a little bit too much power because when they don't like something, they're vocal about it, and WWE goes the other way, a la Becky Lynch, a la
Daniel Bryan,
a la Roman Reigns. When they don't like something, they go the opposite way. They're trying to WWE is trying to invoke a certain reaction to you in the fans, us. And when you don't act a certain way, they flip-flop the other way to go the way that the fans want.
Yeah, but this doesn't work because, as you said, the person who got the heat was the rep
at the end.
So it's not like we need Bray to be at
the end.
Yeah.
But the fans are cheering for Bray Wyatt.
But this was not but that was not I don't think that was a reaction.
Right. But the fans cheered for Bray Wyatt. So Bray Wyatt's supposed to be a heel. How are you cheering for the heel?
And to go full circle with the whole heel face dynamic, how about does that even matter? Because you could ring up Becky Lynch. They tried to turn her heel and she got over. Worked out pretty okay for the company. I don't know about you, but maybe that's not what they wanted. But I don't think they're exactly bitching about it.
Imagine Freddy Krueger being a babyface.
I'm just saying. I think.
Did you see Freddy vs. Jason? I state my point.
I think with her making the video game cover, main eventing WrestleMania, I think this failed heel turn, even though the fans made her a babyface, I think it's worked out pretty well for WWE. So even if it's not the reaction they want, I still think there's merit in it. That they did okay. Is all I'm saying.
All right, so I've gotten my rant over. I'll post something else out later on today, but we got to move forward a little bit really quickly. We're running out of some time, so. Tomorrow night we have the first round of the draft for SmackDown and Raw. So I have the rules here as posted by WWE, who coincide with Fox. So the rules are as follows: over 70 superstars as well as tag teams are eligible for selection in this year's draft. SmackDown will draft 30 superstars, and Raw will select 41. Obviously, 41 for the longer show. Since SmackDown is a 2-hour show, Raw is a 3-hour show. Every 2 picks SmackDown makes, Raw will receive 3. Okay. Tag teams will count as 1 pick unless Fox or USA specifically wants to pick only 1 superstar from the team.
Where are you getting this information from?
This is from. This is on the Fox. This is from. Actually, this was sent to me on the Busted Open.
Right, but what's the source?
The source is.
Is it from WWE?
It has the Fox and WWE logo on the top of it.
Then you know it's official.
Anybody can Photoshop.
I
anything.
know, but this is what I'm.
Go ahead, Brian.
Anyway.
Go ahead, Brian.
Bad, Tristan.
I feel bad now. Any undrafted superstars will immediately be declared free agents and be able to sign with the brand of their choosing. Heath Ledger! Heath Slater, sorry.
What?
Heath Slater.
Yeah.
Free agent of the year. So.
It was from Fox Sports.
Fox Sports. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. I saw it here. It got sent to me.
I know.
I'm trying to sources, Brian.
But the Ramblers want to know your sources. They want to make sure you're not
journalistic integrity.
Right. They don't want to make sure you're getting stuff from Joe Schmo sitting in his basement.
Shut off my fucking mic. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna just do our first round picks here right now, and then we're just gonna talk about the rest of the draft, what we think is gonna happen, and then we're gonna do over not over. So, Tristan, your first round pick for SmackDown.
Charlotte.
Okay, Dave.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
I am impressed by that. First round pick for me for
SmackDown.
personally, or we're saying what they think.
What do you
Personal, number one overall?
Number one overall.
Oh, personally for me, I'm taking Bray.
Okay, so he's taking
The Fiend, whatever. I'm taking both of them.
Okay.
They're tag team to me.
I'm gonna actually take who the Cesaro.
What?
Damn.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yes. Yes.
Ryan, slap yourself with your mic. Number one overall.
That just put it.
Saying that SmackDown gets to pick number one. Out of all the people you can pick,
I have faith in Cesaro could carry the brand.
but he's not number one overall. No way,
Okay.
Brian.
I
Okay.
love
All right.
Cesaro, but man, that
You
hurts
can
my
pick
feelings.
Daniel Bryan. You can pick Roman Reigns.
D-Bry's been picked once before.
You
I'm
can
not
pick-
doing that shit.
You can, golly, you can pick anybody, but you can't. No, he's
Yes.
not number one overall. Maybe number 5.
No, I think he's number one.
But he's
that's
not
me.
number. No way.
Yes.
Brian pulled it out of his ass. You smell the shit on that? Fuck no.
Yeah, are your shoes on there, Tristan?
My shoes are on.
Maybe
Okay.
Tristan's stalling for his pick.
No
Yeah,
way.
all right. All right, Raw number one, go.
Seth Rollins. You got
Who you
Becky
taking?
Lynch.
Seth is Universal Champion. That's the Raw title. Can't
Okay.
change sides. Anyway, continue.
Okay.
Your Raw number one pick.
Raw number one pick. I'd pick Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Get these hands, Braun Strowman.
Don't do that, bro.
I honestly
Hold
think...
on. I'll tell you who he's going to say.
Let me hear it.
He's going to say what's the guy named? The baseball guy.
Schwartz.
No,
No.
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins.
No, as much as I want...
because of his YouTube watch.
No, as much as I want Zack Ryder or Kurt Hawkins to be like in the top 5 pick, that ain't not happening. I'm not that dumb. But I think Becky's going to go number one to Raw.
Doesn't Becky already have a
Yeah, I thought you
championship?
said we can't do the
Yeah.
champs.
Wow, how he makes his own rules and
Oh
just
my
changes
god, holy crap.
So I'm gonna make the rules. In
Hold
order
on.
to break them.
Number one pick. I'm going to say Sasha.
That's for your ass.
Smell that shit.
That's
Smell it.
very funny though.
Would you like a chocolate covered pretzel, Tristan?
them. I still think that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
What?
Cesaro?
Easy.
Listen,
Like,
listen, I've always, you know,
I'm a huge Cesaro guy.
I'm a huge
so
Cesaro
I
guy.
like Cesaro as well too, but he's not number one overall.
Okay.
I'm playing Switzerland. Who's your third?
All right, so who do you? All right,
Who'd
so
you got?
yeah, I want to hear one more from each of you guys. So one for SmackDown, one for Raw. So your number 2 pick for SmackDown there, Tristan.
Give me. If I had to pick number 1,
No, number 2.
number 2,
Number 2 for SmackDown.
2. Give me. Let's go with.
As he looks at his phone.
I know I'm looking through the roster real quick.
Roster, yo, dome piece.
Give me the Miz.
Okay.
Wow.
Put the Miz on SmackDown.
Okay.
I cannot believe I've gone away with this, but drafting third, AJ Styles. How did I get away with this?
I actually think that the Fox wants the OC altogether, so I'm going to pick the OC as my second pick.
Okay.
Wait, can you do that?
Yes. The OC can be picked. So the New Day can be drafted together.
But,
The OC can be drafted together.
well, okay.
All right. Raw second pick there, Tristan.
Second pick. If I am going for a second pick, I definitely would want somebody with some kind of star power. I would go with Bailey.
Okay. Dave?
Yeah, Bailey.
And I thought I was stretching with Cesaro. Jesus.
No, Oh
What am I
man.
missing here? Okay. Question: NXT people.
No,
available or not
NXT.
available?
Nope. NXT
NXT's
available.
not involved.
NXT's not
Crap.
involved. Not till next year.
Crapola, because I know who I would want. But all right. Okay, so I can't take that. You know what? I will go ahead and just go with Shinsuke Nakamura.
He has a championship. I don't think he's going anywhere.
He's an IC title.
Wait, that counts?
Yeah, I guess
No, I don't think that counts. But
Brian's rule.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't. Think
anyway, okay. So
Oh, no, all right, fine. No, if that counts, then I won't take him. Then I'll go. I'll go ahead and you know what? I'll go with Andrade.
okay. You know what? One person has been said that I thought one of you guys would have picked.
Who?
Kevin Owens. That's my second pick.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I should have went with that one.
To go on SmackDown?
To go on Raw
Okay.
because he's done with Shane.
Allegedly.
Why? Well, allegedly, but why does he need to stay on SmackDown? Go to Raw. Go fight Seth for the title.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, no problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now it's time for. I'm gonna play the gimmick. Why not? Yeah. No.
It's up to you. You're sitting in front of the board.
Not over. Oh, yes. Yes, you.
It is now time for Over, Not Over with myself, Tristen, and Dave for the first time. So since Dave, it's your first time, you're going to be our first victim.
So what we do here, Dave, is that we choose something, or someone that is over in the world of professional wrestling, and then we choose someone that's not over in the world of professional wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go.
That's all you got to do.
Doesn't sound like much of a victim. Okay.
So Brian wants you to go first.
I want to go first because I'm still trying to get.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so something that is over in professional wrestling, not just WWE, all professional wrestling.
Professional wrestling in general.
All right, cool. All right, in that case, something that's over right now, I gotta go with Undisputed Era. I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to say Adam Cole or Undisputed Era. Can I say the whole thing?
Sure, it's whatever you think is over.
You think is over.
Then Undisputed Era.
Why?
And why? I'm a sucker for the heel, like call it the NWO Horseman kind of mentality or whatever. But I love a dominant faction. I always have. And I think they finally did it. I've been waiting for this moment in NXT for a very long time because I said NXT has checked a lot of the old school marks, no pun intended, except for having a dominant faction have all the belts. Now, fine, they don't have the Cruiserweight title, but having this dominant heel faction, finally they're there. I've been waiting for it. They teased it last year and they didn't get there. So finally we have this moment, and I think it is working. And Adam Cole, I think specifically, the reason why I almost said just him, is that he's playing his part because now between Balor, between Ciampa, there are eyes on him, and it's working. He's playing his role well, doing a good job of it, and it's coming on NXT, especially when they're at a time where they need it because the champion of that company is going against AEW. So, you know what? It matters.
Okay. Tristen? Over?
Right now, what's over for me in the world of professional wrestling is NWA Power with 3 R's. I think NWA Power is over because they're bringing it's the newest professional wrestling that to come to our eyes this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's on YouTube and it's on Facebook. It's standalone. It's not on Fight TV or anything like that. I think that NWA Power is over for me this week because it's bringing us wrestlers that most people may not be familiar with.
Yeah, right.
You know, it still feels really old school, so it's pretty much like old school with rules with a new school, feel to it.
It's the newest old thing you've seen.
That's correct.
I'm gonna have to say what's over in professional wrestling is going to be AEW right now. My honest opinion. The whole everything that's going on storyline wise with Jericho, with Kenny Omega, how everything's intertwining. They're building a good product right now on TV. There's some little things here and there that we can nitpick at, but I honestly think AEW is pretty over right now since last week.
That's fair, and because I think regardless to where you stand on the line of who's who, I think we are getting what we want because people talk about war, but people talk about the Monday Night Wars and saying competition is good, and it is. We're getting that. I think both shows are stepping up their game and giving us good wrestling, so I think that's good.
Dave, what's not over?
What's not over? I'm not gonna steal it. You had the rant on it, so I'm not gonna say it. I'll save that one for you.
All right.
It'll be all yours, buddy.
All right.
Because I'm waiting for it again. But what is not over for me in professional wrestling right now? Man, I really hate to
take it. Go ahead. Take it. Go ahead. If you want to take it, take it.
No,
Be my guest.
I was gonna say Bayley.
Okay.
I hate to kick her when she's down because I'm a big Bayley fan, but Bayley's not over. And after the second time of her having a title and it not really working out, I blame booking. I don't blame her. I want to make that very clear. I wish her run was better, but she's just not over. And the heel turn's not even working. If it is a heel turn, it's just so disastrous, and it hurts my feelings watching what's happening to Bayley.
Gotcha. Tristen?
What's not over for me this week is Roy Bevis. Ring a bell to anybody in this room? Roy Bevis is the brother of WWE superstar Paige.
He started some shit with Regal. Yeah.
So it's not for me. It's not that he started shit with Regal. So right now, Roy Bevis is on social media right now saying that he has been blackballed from WWE. There's another tryout getting ready to happen, and he's not invited because he threatened a WWE
official
performance center trainer. He being William Regal. So Roy went on social media and cut a promo on the whole situation and pretty much said that he's upset because he's upset with William Regal because he heard from other wrestlers that William Regal was talking about him. Let me tell you guys something, okay? Because you guys, Brian, you're not a wrestler. You hang out in the wrestling locker room sometime, Dave and Ramblers. Most of you guys haven't hung out in a wrestling locker. You're not wrestlers. You don't ever believe anything the boys tell you.
No.
Okay?
No, you don't. I know that, and I'm not even in the ring.
You don't believe anything the boys tell you, because everything the boys tell you is a work. And even when they're trying to convince you that it's a shoot,
it's a work.
It's still a work, okay? Because I am not going to go sit around on TV looking like on social media looking like a fool, cutting a promo on William Regal saying that I'm upset because I heard from another wrestler. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You ever heard it say, tell a friend, tell a wrestler, tell a friend, tell a wrestler, tell everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's going to know, and you know what? You don't believe nothing that the boys are telling you. So Roy, because of what you said, dude, for this week, you're not over for me.
And the funny thing was, Regal told him, "You have my number. Call me. Let's talk about this."
Of course, because he's William Regal.
But
yeah,
no,
exactly.
That was because Roy said, "Hey, look, you know what? You tell me which arena to meet you in, and I'm gonna come see you."
Yeah.
But especially your point, 100% true. But especially when it comes to job, not like work isn't a work, but like getting jobs or something business related. Definitely never listen to that.
That's right.
Yeah, don't.
Like how much money you make.
Right.
Oh, I make way more than you.
Right.
It's always a lie.
Everything is a work.
Business wise,
Everything is a
it's like the
work.
worst thing you could possibly.
Of course.
This show's
Of
a work.
course.
And with his family, he should know that.
Yeah, that's
Hello?
true.
Right?
Hello.
Like,
They made a movie about it.
Like Paige can't call him and be like, "Yo, bro, get off the phone, get off the internet."
Yeah, cancel the
You
Twitters.
know? So now you blackballed yourself, so now you can't get a job. But then again, maybe that's a work. What if they show up in NXT
true.
UK?
Yeah.
You don't know.
We don't know. This
Everything
all
is
could
a
be
work.
a fucking work.
Everything is a work, because if they have another NXT UK pay-per-view,
He's
and,
there.
and him and his partner jump the guardrails and attack William Regal,
It's a work.
Fire.
you don't tell anybody's happening. You
Nope.
tell a few people. You
Right.
tell a few people in Gorilla. You probably smarten up the referee once it's happening, and once everybody's trying to come through to come help save William Regal, you go, "Hey boys, this is work. Stand by."
True.
And the boys got work.
True.
And you know your gimmick is over when the boys got
get
work.
Yep.
But going back to this whole thing being a shoot, look, Roy, don't work yourself into a shoot, brother. Don't listen to the boys. You're not over this week.
And everyone who's listening right now and the guys in the studio know what's not over for me. We're not going to say it. You know why I ranted, why I was pissed off at
forgot.
everything. So,
I forgot.
oh, you forgot? It's that shit ending to that fucking Hell in a Cell match.
What do you mean?
The referee, Seth Rollins, and The Fiend are not over for me this week. There, I'm done.
So let me give you the over, not over. Joe in North Carolina checked in and said that over for him is Sammy Guevara. And not over is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And also, Brian, that shit shirt that you're wearing, it's not over.
I love this. I think
It's
the
not
shirt is over.
with me.
This shirt is over, motherfucker.
And that's another week of over and not over.
All right. Well, we're over time right now.
Speaking of over.
Yeah.
Really over. So let's get those gimmicks out there. So Dave, go ahead and plug yourself.
Please check me out on Dave Knows Wrestling over on YouTube. I will be live streaming tomorrow on that very